Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. I hope everybody's doing well, because I'm doing great. We have not that much news, which is why we're doing a Sentai tier list at the end. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Ryan, here's a question. Do you think that people are going to hate me for my Sentai takes?
Yes, but you had to find out later in the scene. Coming boon.
Coming boon. Kaus, how you doing? I heard you got a haircut.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd make it, and if I sound different, it's because I do sound different. Because my other headset broke.
R.I.P. Kaus's headset.
Are you sure?
And I got a haircut, which, oh my goodness, I had my hair grown for 2 years.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not like a Skrull secret agent?
Well, you'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually. Thank you to Jamie's World for joining as a channel member today. Appreciate the support. It really helps out. Speaking of channel members, I believe I can click this button and gift 5 memberships because it's the beginning of the month. So it clicked it, and there we go.
And then we got Jamie Carr, Dr. Grid, Donnie Waltman, Don Ranger Power, and Matthew Laura as our new channel members.
Yeah, so you can gift memberships on this. You can also join as a member, and you get shout-outs during the stream and perks like early access. The fun part about the gifting memberships is it's random. It's like a lottery thing. Like, you know, YouTube just picks people. But
a gotcha system.
Yeah, it's like a gotcha system. But welcome back to people that have been members before through gifted memberships, and so thanks to everybody who has been supporting the channel. It's been great. This was a very good week for the channel, or should I say a very good Friday to now, because the Sentai video was great. But before we get too far ahead, I think we should do a rundown of everybody in the chat while I get the next segment prepped.
Welcome, Jamie's World, Zeltrax, Dr. Grid, Master Ben, Cameron Metter, Spin Dash, Jeremy Carr, Miteki T, Soul Man, Silver Bricks, Toma, Hellfire, MJ Klein, Donnie Wallman, Dr. Grid, Kaiju 1954, and that should be everybody right now.
Yeah.
Hellfire Style is finally free from editing present Friday.
Yeah, so for context,
and also, like Thomas said, please hit the like button if you like the stream and buy a membership to support Sound streams.
Yes, greatly appreciate that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about okay, yeah, this Blazar video. That was nice. I hope everybody that watched that enjoyed it. I was working all week on this Sentai viewing guide, and I am super proud of how it turned out. I'm super proud of, you know, like the research and everything that everybody like that contributed to that, because I had several friends help me like fact check and double check and triple check information to make sure it was all good. And we did pretty good. We did.
You ought to be proud of that. You did a lot of work on it. You got a lot of views.
And that's the biggest thing is, for one, let's not play the video, YouTube. For once, the view count here is crazy. Like 3.6K for 3 days on this channel is a huge accomplishment. So thank you to everybody for watching that video. Thank you to everybody for commenting. There's so many comments I went through. A lot of people would ask like, oh, what about this? What about this? Like Cameron's asking, you surprised me to mention the manga Super Sentai. It was just, I had to streamline in some places. Like if I included everything, this would have been like an hour and 40 minutes. But I was like, how do we streamline this? How do we make it simple and easy to follow? Excuse me. So thank you to everybody. And legitimately, and everybody that supports the channel with watching, with hitting the like button, with subscribing, with the channel memberships. Doing all this allows me to make videos like this. Because if I was holding down a regular job, I'd never be able to pump something out like this.
There'll be no time to make it.
I spent like 2 weeks researching. I spent like 5 or 6 hours writing out, because I wrote out all the premises of the shows. I didn't just copy like wiki descriptions. I wrote them out so they'd be a certain length, a certain time.
And coherent, probably also coherent.
And coherent, yeah. Like where you could just, you know, get a 20-second. I was aiming for 20 seconds.
Corroborate what Soundout was saying.
Mm-hmm.
He legit did a lot of work, because he actually put in so much work. He actually fell asleep when he was playing the Tekken with us.
Yes. It was like at the end of the Tekken stream, and I wasn't playing, so I just kind of like zoned out, nodded off, and then and then like my turn came up, and I was like, ah.
Someone had to do. Someone did similar things for the Sonic Jazz retrospective. I know the feeling of spending like almost night hours researching and writing.
Like I spent like several weeks researching. I spent all last weekend, like the week before I made the video, the weekend before I was writing for like 2 days. Then I filmed it. Filming it took 3 hours because I couldn't keep flubs, and I kept having to. I would redo takes. I'm like, no, I'm talking too long about Live Man. I got to shorten this because I was like, I was very aware of the runtime on this, and so I took 3 hours to film it. Then editing wise, I edited over. What is it? I filmed it on Tuesday. I did editing on Wednesday and Thursday, and when I started editing, I put on Hurricaneger to like watch while I was editing because I have like my TV's like right here. It's like 2 inches away from my computer screen. Like I can watch stuff on it. I watched episodes 26 through 51, the Versus movie, and then a 3-hour live stream with some people talking about comic books because it was late at night and I was trying to get the video done. I did all that. There's a Digimon digivolving on my wrist. All of that. So it's like, I think 17, 18 hours of editing. And then that's how the video, and that to get the video done.
Question: Did you got to the hamster? Did you got to the hamster punch scene?
I think I did. Yeah, it's a little. I will admit the back half of Hurricane is a bit of a blur, but I can distinctly remember it also because like half the show was Ninja Storm footage. Like half the show was footage used from Ninja Storm, so it was easier for me to watch while editing. But it let the hours fade away, which was nice.
Man, it really does remind me that I really wish the Sentai Sakyo battle was like not like yearly, but like I want that to be a more occasional like miniseries to pop up. I really like the Sakyo battle series. So
I practically rewatched Super Sentai Strongest Battle just to do note taking of like who showed up. Cameron asked 2 questions. Favorite Sentai Power Ranger suit? It's Black Knight / Magna Defender. I love it. Favorite Sentai villain? It's Yodona. I am part of the problem of why there's 4 Yodona specials.
Yeah, didn't the finale just came out recently for those specials?
Yeah, the final Yodona special came out like yesterday, and I'm waiting for someone to sub it.
I was keep forgetting. It's Black Knight. I keep thinking it's Bolt. Okay,
so this is the confusing part. For those that haven't watched Ginga Man, Bull Black is the night guy that shows up on Earth searching for the lights of Ginga. Black Knight is the form that Hyuga takes when he's given the armor from Bull Black.
Yeah, it's not like Mag Defender where that means to say the same
right.
No matter like if
Bull Black is a dude, Black Knight is an armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why he's known as Black Knight Hyuga. Like you'll see it written a lot as Black Knight Hyuga, but in the same way that like the roll call is like Ginga Red Ryoma.
Yeah, it's like I hear that in my brain thinking it's a Garo. It's a Garo Mankai Knight instead.
Or as Jeremy Carr says, Kurokishi, but then I just start thinking of like, Kiba or something. So I stick to Black Knight usually. Black Knight, Kurokishi, and then Bull Black is a separate character. But let's see. Hellfire says, what made the script longer because you had to mention all the Gokaiger cameos? Yeah, that. The script wasn't longer for the Gokaiger cameos. The editing was. Because I would talk about, like, somebody showing up in a Gokaiger episode for about 2.5 seconds, but it would take me the time to get the image of them in the episode, then copy and paste the text onto the block, and then line it all up, and then that would be the segment. So it takes, like, 5 or 6 minutes to add a Gokaiger cameo, but it takes 2.5 seconds of actually watching it. And that's why this video took so long, was because of all the cameos and everything. And I left a couple out because I went back and watched a couple cameos, and I was like, these are literally shorter than me saying that they were in it. So what's the point of mentioning it, you know? That's the sort of thing. I did make some calls of like, you know, people kept pointing out that Kaoru showed up in Go Busters vs. Gokaiger. She's there for 20 seconds on screen. And she has 2 lines of dialogue, and that's it.
It's similar to like I don't know, Yoshi Darso's cameo in the Ninja. That doesn't count.
Right, exactly. And there was a couple other cameos that are so short, and I left out all the voice only cameos that sort of thing.
That'll be too much. Like half will be just Mao.
Yep. Longest segment was Gokaiger. The longest segment was Gokaiger. Yeah. Muteki says, did you count the end credits? No, because like Master Shafu and Torin are like in the end credits of the Zyuohger movie, but they don't do anything, so it's like, you know, I don't mention that.
I forget. You mentioned the Zuo the World's cameo, and
I did mention Zuo the World's cameo, and the only reason I mentioned it was because I went and checked the runtime. He was on screen for about 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Also, it's like the funniest Sentai moment ever.
It's a funny moment. Like, he doesn't really contribute anything to that crossover, but he's there at least like almost 2 minutes, which is more than I can say about some other people.
I want more cameos like that. It's like they're not even there to be like to be like actually used. It's just a fun like, oh hey guys, I'm heroes. So,
yeah,
it's a classical like sitcom like applause moment for that.
Like 5 Yellow showed up 2 times to go, I'm still alive.
I forget. Did you cover what was that? What was the team of Hurricane Blue and the two? What was that? Was it the
Hero Mama League? Yes.
Yeah, Hero Mama.
After much consideration, Hero Mama League made it in. I was like, it's not really that important, but I was like, well, I'm including all this other stuff, so gotta include Hero Mama League. Even Maji Yellow being in Hero Mama League, I included, which
that was a
I forgot.
Special. That was a special or a moment in that crossover movie. I forget.
That was a separate special that, for some reason, featured the villain from Q Ranger vs. Space Squad as like a lead-in. But it technically, like, it has nothing to do with Q Ranger vs. Space Squad. It's just the villains there.
It's funny enough, that special I think is more wholesome than the Udon specials. You think that'll be the opposite?
Yep. Hellfire says, imagine a later crossover and Zenkai Red randomly appears in it just because. We got to do a Tokyuger 10th year's anniversary movie, and then Zenkai Red is there because he sung the theme song.
Yeah.
But he's still Zenkai Red, like, just for the hell of it.
It's like how we can never escape Katak. He's everywhere. You're just playing Final Fantasy. No, hello, Katak.
Mm-hmm. Also, last week, apparently was Shark Week, but it was Geki Shark Week. I just felt like showing off Geki Shark. And then Spin Dash was like, could you also show this? And I was like, sure, there we go. There's another short.
You should just, I mean, that's like a lot of toy reviewer shorts. It's just, hey, look, I found this thing.
Yeah. I'm probably going to do something like that this week, because I don't know.
Some of my favorite, some of my favorite shorts from toy stuff is someone doing this, I forget the channel's name, but it's like someone actually doing like mini reviews on like some obscure turtle merch. Yeah. Which is nice because you barely see any reviews on any other wacky turtle stuff. That isn't like the main
like Playmates turtle merch and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spin Dash says I legit didn't know there were lights. Most people didn't. Like a lot of people that watched that short were like, "There's lights." Like that was the general reaction.
Funny, which is funny because the head's so big, you kind of had to figure there's something going
on
with that giant head.
It's funny because like on the American version, there's nothing. There's not even like a hint of it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They ship all the electronic. It makes sense.
Hellfire says, remember that one Tokyuger episode where they randomly had the band performing the theme in the train car? That again, but the singer's just in the Zenkai Red suit. Yeah, I'd want that. Also because the Tokyuger theme song's the best theme song in Sentai history, and everybody can fight me because I will win that fight.
My favorite, I saw someone who I think is watching Tokyuger recently, and they did an art piece where it's like, episode 1, yay, happy train time! Episode 36, oh god, existential crisis.
Yep. Alright, you guys ready to get on to the news? I think we're ready for the news. I think we talked about the Sentai thing enough. Let's get to it. News time.
We have plenty of time for that.
Yeah. Alright, so Omega Prime has crossed the 16,000 mark, so he's now going to include those 2 stands that look like the space bridge. Where are they? There they are.
Insert people going, who wants this? Well, I think 12,000 people do.
I think was it 17,086 people? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
86 too many.
I don't think all the international orders to like enter in yet. I'm pretty sure.
Probably not.
10 days though, so better not buy anything for the next 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days till it closes if you want to get in on this.
That if you everybody curious, that 10 days, so 4, 5.
That's March
next
14th.
Next Thursday.
Yep.
14th. So make sure your wallet's ready by then.
Yeah, I have
AK, I just realized it's not my payday, so my paycheck's gone that week. Then.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna just squeak it out this
I'm
month.
gonna be good. I'm gonna be good, but it's gonna be like, well, can't buy any that week then.
I'm like legitimately like I think I'm just gonna squeak out March barely. It's rough this month.
Maybe it's a good thing that
yeah.
all the disc replicators are busted.
It's
month.
a good thing. There's like nothing coming out in March and April, basically. Like it's good. That being said, hey, entertainment news. We got a couple little details about the Disney Sony deal. So for those missed out last week, we talked about how Sony is now taking over Disney's physical media operation. And that's going to be kind of a huge change, but Sony Home Video is really cool. That's right, Geats is in April. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm probably not buying Geats at launch. I'm going to do a video on it for sure, but I'm having trouble wanting to commit $80 to it, which I think everybody can understand. So,
if you want to the review of the Geat sets like earlier, feel free to donate or become a channel
member. If we get the channel member number up, I'll just do it. But like at the moment, I'm like, it's a lot of money, and
that or someone super chat 80, not like $80 to you right now.
Yeah, it's just the trickiest part about running this channel is that I do more work than a regular job, but I do not get nearly as much pay. So
the pain of becoming a reviewer product.
Yep. So anyways, so with Disney and Sony, there were some questions that were asked. And Digital Bits, who broke the news, Bill Hunt, who's been like in the industry for a long time. He got some clarification. First things first, the Disney Sony deal does not mean a return of Disney product to Australia or the other regions they pulled out of.
Which still sucks.
Still sucks. Their sources are saying that the distribution deal applies to US and Canada only, so operations in other markets is up to Disney still, which is interesting. We'll see how that goes. The thing is, the good news is that Disney is, Bill says, I'm told that Disney remains committed to physical media distribution, which is good. And while Disney will continue to make the decisions about what gets released, that's the key thing. Disney's still going to make decisions on what gets released.
That's what I think.
Those decisions will now be made in partnership with Sony, with the goal of maximizing availability based on consumer and retail interest. Real quick, Jamie's World. I am going to get Boom Boonger toys, just probably not right away. I'm probably going to wait till they go down in price.
It's called Surugaya. It's called Surugaya.
Surugia or even Amazon Japan sales. I'm going to wait for some discounts because I want to get stuff. I just
unless Hannah really, really, really loves the show.
Yeah. But anyways, so the idea here is what I was talking about when the Disney Plus Blu-rays came out, and I was like, if you want a Marvel show, pick up WandaVision or Loki. If you want a Star Wars show, pick up a Mandalorian set. That way you can show that there's interest for those things, which there was. Those sets sold incredibly well. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more Disney Plus for Marvel and Star Wars. Now, if they throw out like a Muppets thing, like buy the heck out of that Muppets thing if you want more Muppets. Like they're going to be looking at what sells, essentially. Spin Dash says, so TLDR, Disney has final say, but Sony can make suggestions. That's what it sounds like. Also, welcome, comment, Jojo. What do you got, Jerry? What were you thinking?
Oh, the Muppets, like, vote with your wallet. So yes. I want more Muppets, dang it.
It's like if they put out Muppet movie on 4K and you're like, but my favorite Muppet movie is The Great Muppet Caper. Buy that Muppet movie so they know that you want Muppet Caper.
Funny you bring that exact one up. That's the one that got stolen from me.
Aw.
If I had two nickels for hearing of one team needs to convince the other party to do the thing they want, I'll have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but I've been listening to Ian Flynn, the writer of the Sonic comics and games, recently, his Bumblecast, and that's he said that multiple times where it's like he needs to convince Sega for him to be able to do stuff in the comics. It's like, if I had 2 nickels of one party convinced the other party to do something cool, 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange I hear that twice now.
Kind of, yeah. Spin Dash mentions Muppets Christmas Carol 4K with the deleted song. I've been waiting for that. It could happen under Sony because Sony loves
I
the
forget.
Muppets. Look what they did with Muppets Take Manhattan. They gave us the
I
greatest
forget.
disc ever.
I forget. Didn't that because they restored that recently on Disney Plus, right? The
Yeah,
deleted scene.
they did. They did restore it on Disney Plus, and it's in 4K, so it's just a matter of putting it on a disc. Toma mentioned, is this related to that one guy I mentioned to you? Yeah, it's not quite directly mentioned. For those unaware, I didn't make it a news topic. The head of Disney's live-action movie division has stepped down, but he's been kind of just pushed off to a side, and they put somebody else in place. And that person came in and was like, "We need to not just do the same thing all the time and actually try new stuff."
That's weird. I feel like I would have heard like discussion film tweet that out.
Yeah,
Somehow
I thought
missed
so too,
that.
but it was in CNN, BBC, like several like big news networks. But basically
Which is
the
weird.
idea of like they're trying something different, and maybe they won't be doing like the same, like let's just remake all our animated movies.
I wonder if it's gonna affect the production. What's in production right now? Lilo and Stitch and
Yeah,
Moana.
it won't affect anything that's currently in production. It's just going to be what is going to come up. Like Tron's not affected, and that was like one of the last things
I bet
guy
you were
worked
covering
on.
that. Dots on the first photo we saw of Ares or whatever it was being called.
We got a shot of Tron Ares that looked like Tron Legacy, but none of the people that made Tron Legacy are working on it.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
saw
gonna
that.
wait and see how
Is that
Tron
a
shakes
bad or
out.
good thing?
I mean,
We don't know
Jared
yet.
Leto's
Yeah.
the star apparently, so that's your monkey paw wish there.
I mean, Jared Leto was in Haunted Mansion, and you'd never notice. And so if we have one
He
of those
was.
situations, that'd be nice.
I'm not sure how I feel about the suit. Like, I really love the legacy suits, but like, I don't know, something about that new Tron Ares suit give me bad haste. Reiwa Kamen Rider design issues.
Yeah, I didn't really look at
Complex.
it that long because I was like, I'll just deal with it. I was like, literally in my mind, I was like, I'll just deal with this later. I need to see. We need to see like trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else we got going on. So, in conjunction with that, Bill mentions that Sony's, got experience and, they're really successful at choosing catalog titles to release on 4K. So hopefully that allows Disney and Sony to work together to decide what it is. Spin Dash, I'm jealous you got to ride the Tron Light Cycle ride, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it because that's the one reason I have to go to Disney World is the Tron ride. That's the only reason I want to go. Otherwise, I'd rather go to Disneyland. But anyways, so there's pretty much some more discussion in this article about how Barnes and Noble is going to be offering Disney Blu-ray branded disc sections and all this stuff. There's a lot here, and then he just like listed a bunch of movies that need 4Ks. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think the general consensus is that it's going to be Disney and Sony working together to decide what is going to be released. And that will hopefully allow us to get more releases more frequently with less, corporate. Because, like, Disney's going to approve it, but Disney's weird hierarchy thing that the people in Disney Home Video were having trouble with shouldn't be a problem anymore, which is good.
You think for the recent Muppet stuff on Disney Plus, you think they just got bundled at one, like, bundle set?
They could. I mean, Sony's really good at bundling stuff, so.
Yeah, because I don't think there's the Disney Plus Muppet stuff is enough to like be released on their own set.
Yeah.
Because they're all they're not even
They're all
that
too
long.
short. Like everything's like
Yeah.
6 episodes. Yeah. You know what they should do is they should bundle Muppets Now with the ABC Muppet series because those are like they have the same roster of Muppets.
Yeah, and Muppets Now was the pandemic
Yeah.
series I like to call it. Yeah,
Like,
that's too short.
where they're just like doing like Zoom calls with Linda Cardellini. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of RuPaul. See,
my-
RuPaul was a guest on ABC Muppets, and then RuPaul was also a guest on Muppets Now. So
my
connect
favorite
the RuPauls.
my favorite shorts of the Muppet Now suit the Swedish Chef segments.
They were pretty great. All right, the next news story. I'm not going to discuss this one in detail. I think I'm just going to say my blatant thoughts, and then we'll just move on. That guy's cool with you. Crunchyroll's testing AI for subtitling.
Yeah.
If you're gonna AI
I've
subtitle
heard a lot
something,
about
don't you dare charge people money for it, because if you're charging people money for it, that money can go to hiring translators.
Especially since they have actual
Well, yeah.
especially since they do have actual team of translators. Yay.
Yep. This is dumb, this will suck, and maybe it's gonna be like that company in China that fired their actual artists, hired AI people to do art, and then it ended up costing them more to do the AI stuff than the actual art.
Yeah.
So, anyways, adjust your
speaking
plans accordingly. I won't tell you what to do, but
slightly on
that's all I
topic, but
got.
speaking of AI, have you guys seen the horror stories of that weird Willy Wonka thing? I've been
I
seeing
almost want
everywhere.
to do an entire stream discussing the Willy Wonka thing.
Really?
Almost want to. And I was like, I thought about including it as a topic because it was light this week, but I was like, Sentai tier list is more on brand for the channel. Yeah. We should talk
That
about
was
I don't know. I don't know what we
God,
should do about the
that was
Willy
so
Wonka thing. That
weird.
was weird.
That was so weird, but also I just kind of find it funny that the internet has like taken something that was made for AI and reversed it, and now they're doing actual art pieces
Yeah,
based off
actual
that.
art was created from a stupid idea that AI made. It's because it was so surreal and non sequitur in a lot of its existence that like people were like, yeah. And Muteki says getting those actors jobs. I think a lot of those actors at that Willy Wonka experience are going to get work off of this. They got so much publicity.
They're probably
Yeah,
I think some of them didn't get paid, so hopefully they get paid from this
yeah.
whole thing.
There's going to be a lot of lawsuits that shake out over it, but my biggest hope is that the actors, because the actors at that Willy Wonka experience thing, they really were trying. They tried to salvage that thing for all the kids that went, and I got to give them a lot of credit. And I hope they get work off of this because they've gotten a ton of publicity. So good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of weird things, the Kaiju number 8 anime opening theme, Abyss, is going to be done by Youngblood and co-written by Dan Reynolds of Imagine Dragons. And the ending theme is going to be Nobody by One Republic.
That's really cool.
I think it's cool. They previewed the songs in the recent trailer for the show, and I thought they sounded good. And I look forward to hearing more.
I see
your fellow Kaiju number 8 guy doesn't really care for it.
Yeah.
I still don't know how I feel about the anime art. Like, I think recently I found out that I think it's the same character designers as the current Naruto stuff, and I can see it.
That explains why nobody has necks.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's proportions are so like realistic and weird, and some of them I just don't like how they look. I think for me, I think the biggest thing, like outside character design issues, I think I kind of dislike the most from what I saw how the anime did things is I hate how they did Kefka's D. I hate the shot at the end of the trailer where you see Kefka D transform. He looks like he's in a suit.
Yeah,
and that's not how it works.
I think a part of my problem too is the trailers for Kaiju number 8's anime have been awful. I think every trailer's been terrible. They're like doing this insanely manic, like super fast, cutting a bunch of shots together thing, and you like watch it and you're like, what did I watch? Because I watch it and I'm like, oh, I recognize these moments from the manga. I show it to my parents and they're just like, that was weird.
Yeah, because I think half they don't want to spoil too much because I think almost every shot is from I'm gonna assume the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, the beginning, chapter 1, Reno and Kefka's like training arc, and then the big training like simulation.
I'm very curious to see the first episode because I want to see how the actual show is edited because these trailers are a nightmare. That being said, if you want to watch this, your options are they didn't have it in this tweet. Your options are watching it on Twitter with its awful video player that crashed while playing the trailer.
And compression.
Or you can watch it on Crunchyroll, which, as we discussed, is now using AI subtitles instead of just paying people. Adjust your plans accordingly.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird that they got a US bans for the ending opening, but don't do a Saimu dub.
Right? Like I don't know why there isn't a simuldub when the songs are already in English.
Yeah, because you can tell, like doing the whole Twitter thing, they want this to be international thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that, Ryan. Yeah. So, it seems like you're going for international audience here. So
where's the dub?
Where's the Yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen.
Clearly, internationally flavored here.
Kyle mentioned Chainsaw Man got a simuldub.
No, not Simon dub. It came like a week later, but still got dubbed.
Well, that's what we do for simuldubs because all these weekly shows, like a simuldub, as long as it's in like the first week or two, because some shows get finished so close to the deadline they can't get a dub produced until like a week or two later.
And there's some animes that do have like the same date, like same day sub and dub.
Yeah, and that's usually when you have like Netflix money behind you too.
Also, I can't show the because it has a curse word in it, but Donnie Waltman mentioned one of the characters in Kaiju Remember is whitewash. I forget the character's name, but in the manga, In the manga, he clearly is a dark skin that's the same shade as black characters in the manga. And they whitewash him, and yuck, I kind of hated that.
Yeah, it's my problem with how Nico Robin's like melanin filter got turned off in recent One Piece.
So with Robin, is her in the early was her skin was her shading for her skin darker than the rest?
When Oda was drawing her, sure, her skin was darker on the color pages that he did, like the color title cards and stuff, and like how she appears in the early color walks. And then the anime started with her darker, but then after the time skip, they just made her completely like blank white now.
Yeah, and I with Robin, you can argue if she is dark skin or not. It could be just like a tan. But I was always convinced that character, and I feel bad for getting the character's name, but he's like, I always convinced that character was black in the manga. So see him not feels gross. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it's always my problem of when you jump from manga to anime. There was a thing with like Joko and Shaman King, like the 2000s anime, like lightened him up. But then when they did the remake, they put him back to his proper like darker skin tone. It's a tricky. It's the same thing. I keep wanting to do a video, and I haven't figured out how to approach it yet, because I feel like I need to talk to more people that don't look like this. But like about how action figures have a tendency to light wash a lot of characters of color.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I'm not sure it's out yet, but I'll never forget Playmates. Not even the classical whitewash Bebop, but like I remember the Mutant Mayhem April.
Yep.
First release, perfectly fine skin color. She looked like that in the movie, but I think later release.
The later release, she's lighter. Like they light wash her.
Much lighter, and yuck. That is bad.
Like the also conversation, like why is every Damian Wayne action figure white and there's none of them that look Arab? Like it's that kind of stuff.
He has like he's not like dark skin, but he does have a tan, like a tan skin. Like
it's a conversation I want to have in a researched video with examples and discussions and that sort of thing.
I think for a video like that, you should.
And I want to get other creators of color to talk about it with me, because I don't want to just do it off me looking like this. You know.
I mean, you're not like you're a person of color like me and Kaus, but like it's still you want. Yeah, you don't want to talk for the people like even
I'm a very white Hispanic.
Yeah, we're like
I don't want to speak on behalf of the black community, for example.
Yeah, all three of us are people of color, but like it's best to get that specific. We do want to specifically talk to the people of that specific race.
Yeah,
their dot. It's best to have that view, because that's the view that is most important.
And so I think that that's something I want to have like the discussion with, and I'm gonna work on it. It's an idea that's brewing in the back of my head. I've mentioned it a couple times in videos, and people have been like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea." I just want to make sure we do it right, you know. Because the thing is like because I was able to talk about like Miguel O'Hara and his face and skin tone in the Spider-Man 2099 video, because we literally have a similar like near identical like me and the character have like a near identical like ethnic background, so like I can talk about that in a lot of ways.
Like it's why I have problems with the Lightspeed Blue Lightning figure, because as an Asian, I don't really see Asian in that head sculpt. I see kind of just a caricature, which I'm not happy
and as
about.
someone who's Hispanic, that Rocky head sculpt is offensive to my culture.
Which one? There's multiple.
the Zeo Blue one, the Zeo Blue one in particular.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yep. Right, Kaus? It's like it's legitimately offensive. But yeah, it's a conversation that I think we will continue to discuss, and I will come up with a way to do it.
Yeah, bro, like lose Mr. Bean selfie series.
Yeah, like legitimately. Anyways, that small tangent aside. Because it's something I always want to keep talking about, because I think it's the one thing in action figures I don't see anybody talk about is some people will mention it, but like I don't ever see like a massive conversation. And I think a massive conversation, like, or not like a massive one, like a meaningful conversation about it should be had.
It is a important conversation to have.
Totally. Because I can talk, like, again, it's like I can talk about all the Storm action figures that have been released and about which ones I think look correct, but like, I would like to talk to someone from the black community about what they think about her skin tone and how it's been portrayed.
Again, there's again to there's remind everybody the reason why the toys of Sunman were made because back in the day there was barely any black hero characters.
Same reason why Milestone Comics existed, because there weren't people of color in leads in comics. They were in comics, but they weren't the leads. And when they weren't, because they weren't the leads, and because DC and Marvel were using 4-color processes, a lot of characters of color end up being the same exact color, same exact shade of skin tone, or they're just completely misrepresented. Like how everybody that was Native American in Marvel in the 80s was pink. For whatever reason, like they were pink, and it looks really rough when you look back at it. But yeah, like Milestone was like, no, we're gonna do like they did like a 50-color process so that they could get everybody's skin tones. You have like a variety of skin tones, and they would look natural and appropriate to the characters and who they are.
Due to how comics were printed back in the day, some skin look practically pink back. If you look at certain, especially modern HD scans, there's really noticeable. Same more with
because the thing was like in the 70s and 80s they had 4 colors per page.
It's very similar because in Dragon Ball, if you look at current Masters of Dragon Ball, a lot of times the skin looks pink in certain current colors of Dragon Ball. I mean, what's people remind people
not quite pink as Majin Buu. Think I don't have a good example for this.
But I mean, like for example, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, his fur is not pink; it's supposed to be red. But the Masters just got so degraded, it looks like pink.
All right, let's get back on track because we did go a little bit. We did go veering off a little bit, but good discussions. Ultraman Rising, the animated film, is coming out on Netflix June 14th. We finally got a date, and it's rated PG, so it's not going to be rough and gritty.
We knew the toys more date before the actual.
Yep.
I first said that was Ultraman Day, but I know Ultraman Day is July, not June.
Yeah. I predicted Ultraman Day, but it ended up being June.
Look at that poster.
I love that.
I flashed up for like half a second. There you go. It looks great. Yeah, we've gotten a couple we got a teaser trailer. We should get a full trailer probably like in June. Knowing
soon, hopefully.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, it's brand new animated film for Netflix. I'm looking forward to it, which should be great. Dr. Grid. There is word on the Ultraman Marvel crossover. It's just not good news. So the Ultraman Marvel crossover was announced way back. And it was announced that like Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom would be writing it. And someone asked Kyle Higgins recently, because he's been very active on Twitter, because he's been promoting like Radiant Black and stuff. And so someone asked Kyle Higgins, hey, whatever happened to, are there going to be more Marvel Ultraman comics? And all he said was, well, we've written them. So, like, I guess, so it's like they were written, but, like, something got held up.
It's definitely in classical limbo right now. And the thing is, it's because it's 2 big licensors, there probably is in, like, approval nightmare right now.
I'm also not sure how well Ultra 7 sold. Because, and another thing, for some reason, Mystery of Ultra 7's trade paperback came out 11 months after the final issue. Which is very unusual for Marvel. So, I'm not... Also, for some reason, they didn't label that volume 3. Even though they labeled the first 2 1 and 2. I don't know what's going on. But there were more comics written. If we ever see them, that's a different conversation. But, it's not a different conversation, Transformers, because, boy, let's talk about Transformers. I don't feel like going through the whole gallery for this. I feel like we can sum this up by looking at these 5 images of this one group shot,
Earth Mode Hound lives!
Earth Mode Hound lives. So this is the long-rumored, partially leaked Transformers Generations Selects Autobots Unite 5-pack. You get Earth Mode Hound, the previously canceled Target Buzzworthy Bumblebee exclusive. You get Earthrise Wheeljack, now with no clear plastic and painted windows. Studio Series Jazz with no clear plastic and painted windows. Earthrise Trailbreaker with no clear plastic and painted windows. And Earthrise Sunstreaker with no clear plastic and painted windows. They also gave handguns to Wheeljack and Sunstreaker, which is great because they needed them.
I think this is really good because not only because you're not. I feel like of course, the big pull is Earth Mode Hound, but to the fact that the last waves of Earthrise were impossible to find because of distribution, this is a nice chance for people to get this.
Plus, that jazz shatters because of how much clear plastic the original did. So getting a non-clear plastic one is great.
Also, I hated the white on Earthrise Wheeljack, so I'm glad to get a more nice white Wheeljack here.
I have these 4 dudes, like original releases, but I'm still kind of like, I think I want to get this pack because the lack of clear plastic, the addition of guns for 2 of them, like,
yeah.
I
think this is also
also the pack retails for $110, which means it's actually $22 a figure.
Yeah, it's nice. The price is not bad, honestly.
Yeah. WG Phil says Oda Vision Robin is Russian, so she wasn't a woman of color, apparently. I wonder if he flip-flopped it, because he definitely drew her darker in the early days.
I thought that was, I thought Oda's comment for those were his fan casting of...
It might have been his fan casting. I know, because I've heard that before, and I haven't gotten to... Because most of the info Oda drops about his characters, he drops in the question corners in the manga, and I haven't seen him mention the Robin being Russian thing yet, so I'm just waiting until it pops up. And if it doesn't pop up in the manga, I'll have to research it deeper. Something I should look into, for sure. But yeah, maybe because he has a thought of what race are these characters based on, and then he has a thought of what race should be the actor playing them. Like Usopp isn't like black in One Piece, but he thought a black actor should play Usopp, like for example. Yeah,
that's more thought than other creators mangaka give.
Right.
I think a lot of time manga would think of what popular actor that can play my character.
Yeah,
kind of scenario.
I mean, that's how Baki guy. He based Yujiro off of Matt Dillon originally. But the character's supposed to be Japanese.
Yeah. Also, here's another weird thing with Robin. If she's supposed to be Russian, why are all of her attacks in Spanish? That's the part that's something. I mean, I gotta find sources and figure it out.
We talked about this last year, but this is why you will cast a black Latino actress as Robin for Netflix.
That was I think we came to that consensus as a group. I think.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last stream of last year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did talk about that. All right. Going alongside this, also leaked through listings, but now finally seeing, we have 2 2-packs. I'm refusing to call the first one a 3-pack. This is the Amazon exclusive Legacy United Doom and Destruction Collection, Mayhem Attack Squad, Chop Shop and Barrage, and then Breakdown and Windsweeper. So the way that this works is that you get 2 deluxes over here, and then you get a Voyager and a deluxe over here. Now, when the listings came out, and this is 100% why I don't cover listings on this show, the listing was Knockout in Windsweeper. Obviously, it became Breakdown in Windsweeper. But this is exactly why I don't talk about listings, because things change. We don't want to get our hopes up, hype ourselves up, case in point. Now, for me, as Muteki said, this freaking, I'm just going to talk about the 2-pack I care about. These bugs, these are for those unaware, the Deluxe Insecticons were a subset of figures in G1 that were based on Takatoku Toys' bug line. And
what's the Bandai name? What's the Bandai name? The Bandai Insecticons, people like to call them?
The Bandai Insecticons. They are a little different than the Insecticons we got from Diaclone, which were the ones that were very robotic looking, and these were kind of more of a mix, and they look more bug-like and then less like robots folding down.
More like techno-organic.
Techno-organic, yeah. So there was 4 of them. There's Ransack, who we already got in a 4-pack as a Legacy Kickback retool. There's Chop Shop here, who is a retool of Shrapnel, and he's a very good retool. He's not just a head swap. He's like, brand new bug legs and stuff.
The bug legs and everything. He got upgrade from being a Target Master and a
repaint.
Also a Shrapnel. Was he a Shrapnel repaint previously also? So
Smith the Crow says the line was called Beatress, which makes sense because they're all beetles. Then Barrage here is a heavy retool of Bombshell. To the point,
was already a kickback. Who was already a kickback? A Shrapnel remold.
Exactly, remold of a remold. But they add the bug legs. My favorite part is the horn now comes down on the chest, And they did that trick where they inverted the chest. Or they inverted the arms. So technically
he has butterfly joints.
Yeah, so basically he has butterfly joints because it's Bombshell's back is now his front. And I think that's always a clever thing. It looks amazing. I was expecting like what they did with Ransack, where it was just a repaint plus a new head. But they actually went all out on these, and I'm very excited about them.
It's a 3-pack.
And it's a 3-pack because it comes with that hammer dude in silver for whatever reason.
Is he based off? I guess because apparently he has like
he has the Solus Primes or the Mike
Solus Prime.
Yeah, the Solus Prime. Yeah.
Because we're not gonna talk about listings, but like there's like listings of the next toy line theme is gonna be like Prime
themed, and then Venom would have to be a new mold, and there is a listing for a Generations Prime Deluxe Venom, and Venom's a cicada, and he's so freaking cool, and I can't wait.
So it's actually nice because I always wonder if they're gonna touch these guys because it's the classical like Roadbuster and World where they're clearly based off the Japanese animes are from. Yep. So like I want there to be legal issues releasing these guys, but as nice as they are, they actually look really great.
Mm. And the fact they put this much work into them says to me that Venom will be a new mold.
Makes me kind of regret not getting the Ransack pack because
it makes me glad I bought that Ransack pack pretty much only for him.
Yeah, because these guys do look cool. I think these guys look really cool. I might tempt to get this maybe. Maybe on sale, maybe, but like I have no attachment to them, but they just look like cool. Weird enough, I don't think I would just display my Transformers. I just kind of display them as their own cool Bugmen because their designs are so different from the normal Transformer aesthetic that I don't really view them as Transformers really. So they're just cool Bugmen.
That's why I like them so much, and I'm glad that they got new toys via Transformers. This set's $55. Comes with the 2 packs and the hammer. Then the other 2-pack is $60, and you get Prime Bulkhead done up as Breakdown. A lot of people are like, why wasn't it Trashmaster's Breakdown?
I would say, because I dislike the Bulkhead mold as Bulkhead, but I
like it as Breakdown.
I think this mold works much better as Breakdown. I get his arms are not bigger. The Mars should be bigger, but I think it's again, my head Bulkhead should be round and Breakdown is square.
My favorite part is the hammer put into Bulkhead's mace hand.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, like I think the Bulkhead mold was fine. It just did not work as Bulkhead. But I think this I have the knockout, which I hate, but like it's one of those I kind of feel like I need to get his boyfriend scenario.
I think Knockout being so egregiously wrong looking and Breakdown looking egregiously wrong looking means together they're going to look perfect.
Yeah, I think it's like so
like they're going to be wrong together.
Yeah, as they should be together.
Speaking of wrong, Windsweeper was a Trigger Con, right?
Yeah, like a crankcase.
Yeah, and they're like, nah, he's a double target master now because we're just reusing needle nose.
It's clearly one of those like, crap. Who do we turn this mold into scenario?
Yep. This is my absolute favorite promotional photo of the year for Transformers right now. It's just Windsweeper telling his little dudes, "Go, my children, cause mayhem."
Yeah, and all they do is hop because they have no articulation.
Yep. I think it's great. All right, now for our continuing new segment, Leak Watch 2024. I predicted they're going to take so long to reveal Legacy United Wave 2 that they're just going to be available and there's not going to be pre-orders. And I'm 100% pretty much right on this because Silverbolt and Sandstorm were found at retail in Chile.
But Captain Carrot as their team leader.
And Captain Carrot is their team leader. And for those wondering, Captain Carrot is out in the US. See, I got my Captain Carrot. He's amazing. He's like figure of the year. Like, no joke. He's like the coolest thing I bought in a long time. So anyways, I would say if you're a Transformers fan and you want anybody from Legacy Unite Wave 2, which again, they haven't revealed the deluxes and they've only revealed Silverbolt and Sandstorm.
Silverbolt was only Takara, not Hasbro.
Right. And so if you're wanting core class Beast Machines Cheetor, if you're wanting the Rock Helicopter or the Chromia or I forgot who the
Gears.
Silverbolt, Sandstorm. You want any of these? I would be planning that these aren't going to have a long pre-order window, if a pre-order window at all, because they're produced, they're made, they've been sent to stores. and they've made it to Chile, which means the rest of the world ain't far behind.
Wait, which is it's Chile, not like Thailand or China, which you
Exactly.
expect. No,
it's made it to the Western world. So
do we know what's the pack like mates of?
We don't. I think
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be repacks because originally the listing said that there was going to be a Cyber Starscream with Silverbolt, but
which
I
people
think
assume was Cybertron.
Right. I think that's been pushed. We don't know what's going on with Origin Wheeljack because I don't think he's showing up at Target. So I don't know what's going on, and I wish they would just come out and tell us. We're supposed to be getting weekly reveals starting tomorrow, so hopefully it just happens tomorrow.
Yeah, what if tomorrow just boom, here's Wave 2.
I would really like them just to reveal so we know what's going on, when to expect these, and can plan for it. Because right now I'm kind of starting to pocket money away for Silverbolt. Because I'm like trying to make sure I'm just like keep like $35 over here for Silverbolt.
That's the problem with Hasbro right now is you cannot plan your money schedule. Like you can't.
As people keep talking about, because Bandai announces stuff, I go kill another G.I. Joe. It's just legitimately it keeps happening. I just keep going and killing my G.I. Joe pre-orders because there's just too much stuff.
At this point, it's easier for me to plan out. All right, these Figuarts are coming out this month. I better save them. This Nendoroid and Figma's coming out this month.
I schedule my toy budget around Bandai because I know they're actually going to release stuff. I know when they're going to release stuff.
The only Hasbro figure I budget was Omega Prime because we know when the money's gonna come.
Exactly.
Taken out.
I will say this too. This is from personal experience. If tomorrow they put up Silverbolt and Friends, I have tunnel vision on Silverbolt, but they put up Silverbolt and Friends tomorrow.
That's a cartoon I want to see. Silverbolt and his amazing friends.
If they put them up for pre-order tomorrow and say something like June, expect them in a couple weeks. Within the month. Don't believe the June date if they put them up as June because they are already out in Chile. So
Hasbro dates, I don't think are unless you're Haslab. Hasbro dates are never accurate.
Hasbro dates are never accurate, but there was it's not like when Mesogog was released in Malaysia before he was revealed, and they were like, it's not coming for another 2 months. It actually did take another month and a half. With these being out in Chile, they're already on their way. So I would expect them to not. I wouldn't expect if they say any month that's not March or April, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it at all. So that's my warning from experience. Jerry, do you got any thoughts on Transformers Leak Watch 2024?
When are they coming up here? They're in Chile.
If they're in Chile, it's got to be soon, right? I feel like I'm going to have Silverbolt before April happens at this point, right?
I hope.
Yeah. Mr. Tanuki said, case point, got a billing soon email Big Bad Toy Store for an item set for May this morning. Yep. Exactly my point.
We also, let's not forget the poor Scorponako is still there.
Oh, the poor Scorp. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. We're ignoring poor Scorponok, and the reason why is because I bought him at Target last week.
Oh yeah, because is he out now? Right?
He's out now. I got him at Target. Not last week. It was. I've actually had him 2 weeks now. I went out to get cough medicine for my parents, and I just turned the corner in the Transformers aisle, and I was like, "Hey, Scorponok."
That happens to me a lot of times. Where it's that's outgates something else, and I turn around. I hate it because I was getting something else expensive one Target, and I turn around, they had Legacy Dreadwing. I'm like, oh God, I hate it because I was there to get something else that's also expensive, and I didn't have the I needed to save money, so I couldn't just grab it. Also, no, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna see that again.
You know what's the weirdest thing too? I got carded for NyQuil. They're like, oh, we need to see your ID. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they had to type in my birth date into the computer for them to sell me NyQuil. I was like, okay.
How is the Scorpion?
Oh, he's terrific. I mean, I put him in Scorpion mode and didn't take him back out of it because I really like the Scorpion mode. But they keep a log for people buying NyQuil. I didn't even know this. I don't usually get sick, so I never usually buy cold medicine. But,
is he better than the Kingdom?
Oh, it's because of meth making? How do I not know this knowing my state?
Yeah, I got carded for it before too.
That explains everything. That explains why it was super strict here too, because we have a meth problem in this state. So
you do.
It's also because of a certain TV show called Breaking Bad inspiring people. Anyways, he's really great. I love his Scorpion mode a whole lot. That's why I left him in it. But like, I'm ready for multiple colors of this.
Yeah, because he's literally the armor builder figure.
Yep, he's pretty cool. I should have Wheeljack soon. He shipped from Pulse. So
you mean Pablo,
Pablo.
Right?
You see a real Scorpion, throw that in front of them. See if they start like treating it as their king.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, and then if that works, then I get the Titan class Scorponok out, and then just watch them like self combust from like.
No, they'll live inside that thing.
They'll live inside it. Yeah. Spendash said, if quote, if a high school teacher and a junkie can do it, so can I. Literally the mentality people have around here. I was like warning like politicians in my city. I was like, don't build a statue to the Breaking Bad characters. It gives people the wrong idea.
Yeah.
And they did it anyways. It's in the convention center. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Transformers.
No, G.I. Joe. We're on to G.I. Joe now. There's a G.I. Joe fan stream.
Is there a G.I. Joe PSA about drugs we can reference?
I don't think they actually did a drug PSA for G.I. Joe.
Oh, really?
They were just like, nah. No, they were like, avoid power lines and, don't boat alone. But like, yeah, no drugs. Yeah, whatever.
G.I. Joe!
See you later, Jamie's World. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so anyways, we got some reveals. First things first, name-only reveals of the Saw Viper and Dial Tone. Woo! And then we got some pipeline reveal renders. Here is the Retro Eel. Legitimately don't care.
He looks fine. He just looks too generic.
He comes with less stuff than the first release did.
Does he come with a stand?
He does come with a stand because he's on the all the retro cards come with stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand.
Infinite mention Toho suing Godzilla fan artists. I'm not surprised because Toho sucks.
They do that all the time.
Retro Beachhead though I will pick up because even though I like the Cobra Island one, this one looks like he's not so restricted by his jacket, and it looks cool. I like him. He looks neat, and yeah. And then there is a Retro Snow Serpent, which he does come with the dual pistols to be rad as hell, but he doesn't come with the snowboard, so he's not as rad as hell enough for me to buy him again. Also, no wolf cape.
Karen Metter, favorite G.I. Joe project?
The Larry Hama's G.I. Joe Real American Hero comic. Nothing else even comes close. Nothing else is even in the conversation. It's Larry Hama G.I. Joe. I mean, all right, Skybound G.I. Joe's getting up there, but it's like Transformers tied, so it's great. But
Renegade got canceled.
Welcome, JoJo Star. All right. Then the big render reveal was the Cobra Ferret and Driver, which we kind of saw in the background of the box for the Vamp. I'm also just happy that G.I. Joe's like, here, vehicle, as opposed to here, vehicle if Haslab.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice.
It is nice. This will probably be about $100, I guess. It is a lady. It is a lady, Muteki.
Joe's really good with their like male to female like character ratios.
And considering that G.I. Joe historically has very few female characters, Classified having so many is like amazing.
Because
because if you go with the original '80s line, it's CoverGirl, Scarlet, Baroness, Jinx, Lady J, and Zarana, and that's like it. And then you start, but if you include like the comics and the TV show, they have more characters in it. But yeah, no. But Classified has been pumping them out. We got like Helix, and we got I haven't even opened my Helix. They got Helix, and they're working on. We're going to talk about Jinx in a moment. Like they've been pumping them, and they've been adding in the female Cobra troops, which has been great. So, and the Steel Brigade, and then we got on to the reveals. I think we have promo pictures for this. Yeah. So for the reveals, we have the Cobra SMS, which is a missile tank that is hitchable to the Hiss tank.
Oh, that's cool,
isn't it? And it comes with a Hiss tank colored Techno Viper.
Man, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not sure I can afford this line, but it's like the most like coolest toy line ever.
Right. Legitimately, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It hitches to the Hiss tank. It's decked out in details, and the whole package here is $75 which isn't bad.
It's like the classify is like literally what I wish more collector toy lines are, where it's nice and collector friendly, but it still makes you feel like a kid again with how many cool stuff you can do with it.
And I think what helps with that too is the fact that a lot of these designs are not trying to replicate existing designs, but just taking those characters and putting them into the classified style.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm going to get this. Of course, I'm going to get this. This is. I pre-ordered everything that went up because what I do nowadays is I pre-order everything, see what sells out, and then keep
and then kill the Joes,
and then kill the Joes that don't sell out. But I will keep this because it is a Pulse exclusive, and of course it goes to the Hiss Tank.
Yeah,
so
yeah, the accessory you kind of feel you need to kind of scenario.
And they knew they were doing this because they built the hitch into the Hiss Tank. So it's great. It looks terrific. I'm pretty excited. All right,
I won't be surprised.
Yeah,
seeing how successful the Hiss Tank was, they planned this the same. Like they planned this ahead. Like
I think they planned it ahead. Wow. Like once the Hiss Tank started becoming successful, they're like, let's put that hitch in there. Let's put this. Let's make this. Yeah. Nagahide, one of the Dreadnoks, is the deluxe release for this wave. He just looks super angry Australian man with his animals. He was a render reveal. We have seen his renders before.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a week, been a while since I said.
Yeah.
Was he the other guy in Cobra Commander #2, Energon Universe?
No, that was another guy. That was Torch.
Okay, Torch. Okay, I
love this guy's snake tattoo on his head.
Man, that dude looks like Craven Vereen Dugan.
Wait, does he come with a monkey?
He comes with a monkey with an eye patch. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. He said Craven Duke. How many words were you throwing out?
Craven Vereen Dugan, like Craven Wolverine and Dum Dum Dugan fused.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking Dum Dum Dugan when I saw him. Yeah. But does he also come with the boar?
He also comes with the boar. That's pork belly.
Oh my god, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Pork belly, and Yobo.
This line has so many animal friends. I love it.
They do. I forgot the price point on him. Also, they got new packaging design. It's smaller now. It's more compact, which is great.
That's nice.
I forgot what the price point on him was. Let's scroll up and find out.
Well, was he the deluxe? He's the deluxe figure. So
he's a deluxe. He's a partner pack. That's technically a little different than deluxe. Nagahide is. They didn't put the price on there, did they?
Probably around the $30 to $40 range. I imagine.
Let's find out because I want to make sure that we get the info correct for the peoples out there. Nagahide is 45 because he comes with all that stuff. So.
Not
45.
bad at all, honestly.
Not bad, yeah, because he comes with a ton of stuff. Then we got our next Tiger Force pack. It's Roadblock with his actual freaking gun. Thank God.
I'm assuming the first Roadblock.
The first 3 Roadblocks didn't come with his iconic gun.
The first one was the modernized design.
Yep. The second one was the Cobra Island repaint of the modern design. Then they did the heavy artillery Roadblock, which looked classic, but they just gave him the minigun from the Ram cycle and not his actual Madu's gun.
That was clearly kind of a budgetary decision.
So we finally got the Madu's gun, and it comes with Tiger Force Roadblock, which is fine, because I was buying the Tiger Force anyways. I would legitimately buy this pack just for that gun, because that is the gun that Roadblock is supposed to have.
Again, it's nice to see that Joe's keeping these mainstay characters relevant on the shelves.
And they're doing it just like they did in the 80s. Just give them these subset, repaint colors. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Tripwire's also coming out in Tiger Force colors, along with his little bomb drone guy. And so this will be a 2-pack, which is the first time they've done a 2-pack for the Tiger Force. But I don't mind the 2-pack for something like this, because they're part of the same team. Why not? Right?
Yeah, it's not like Marvel, where it's like, character A, character B, go.
Exactly, yeah. Infinity War Trend says I'll wait for the eventual retro card Roadblock. That's totally happening. I 100% think they'll do retro colors and then also include his proper gun. Then we got Jinx, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting for Jinx. And they revealed her. I think they revealed her render a while back, but the final figure looks amazing.
Is she like Kenshi from Mortal Kombat?
She isn't blind, but she's trained to be blind. She trained in a special form of martial arts where she doesn't have to use her eyes. And so that's what they did with the headband. She looks amazing, though. The head sculpt's great. The paint's great. The likeness is really good. I think the overall design is great. I think just looks like a 100% great figure. I don't think I have any complaints here.
The range looks really good also.
Yeah, and her ethnicity is properly represented, I think. They didn't get stereotypy. I feel like it looks natural, right?
I mean, that's what's nice about the classified designs is, because Joe was kind of known for over-exaggerated stereotypes, so it's nice that they're reining in, like, they're still there, but they're more reining in.
Yeah, remember when they brought in that guy from the Black Eyed Peas to, like, consult on Spirit Iron Knife's design? Like, that is, like, the level they'll go for with this line, which I think is pretty amazing. But yeah, so there's Jinx. By the way, we're, like, up to 126 numbered releases now. I never thought this line would last this long, to be honest.
This line has lasted 5 years, right?
Yeah, we're on our 5th year now. Yeah.
And it's still going on like a certain other Hasbro line.
But Night Creeper here is another army builder type.
I like his. He looks cool.
2 different heads. You got the hood and the goggles, and then you got this like crazy like Monstar looking helmet thing.
That's cool.
And the throwing star hand is back from Deluxe Snake Eyes. That hasn't been around since the first Snake Eyes release, way back when, release number 0.
That's nice to see.
The fact I know these things off the top of my head shows you how much work I put into rundowns. But anyways, he looks really great.
How much you like this line.
I mean, I do love this line. I've been waiting for Doc. I've been waiting for Doc for so long. Because he seemed like such an easy one to do. But I'm glad they waited, because now that they've done him like this...
Holy wow, he comes with a lot of stuff.
He comes with a lot of stuff. His backpack folds out into a stretcher. He's got a removable helmet and glasses. He's got, like, everything. I don't know. He's perfect. I don't know. It's just...
I know Joe doesn't have the restrictions of other lines from Hasbro, but my God,
they really.
It feels like one of those things where, like, if someone has a creative idea for design, they'll just say, "Hey, can I make a foldable stretcher that can store in his backpack?" Sure thing, do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that I love that they randomly I love that they've now separated the 80s. Like, see you later, Mr. Tanuki. I gotta say that I really love that they've created this retro line that's retail now, so that anybody that's going to be just pure 80s is just relegated over there. So, like, main classified can continue to do this, like, merge style, because it's influenced the comics now, because Joshua Williamson was talking about in the letters pages of the recent Duke issue that, oh yeah, I've been picking characters and wanting them to look like the classified figures because I've been loving the toy line so much.
If we get, like, honestly, because I've been really liking the Johnny Universe G.I. Joe stuff recently, if they start releasing the Pacific, I know some designs are based on classified,
like Stalker and Rock and Roll are literally just the classified figures brought into a comic book.
But I want, like, Bearded Duke. I want the Baroness. I want
the Baroness
design. Yeah, I need to read. I have issue 2 of Duke right here.
I think after a couple years of Energon Universe, we're gonna get like a little subline that's like, here's our comic versions. But yeah, anyways, Doc looks amazing. And who said this? Paul Trek says, gotta respect him for doing more than just combat characters. Yeah, that was the spirit of the original G.I. Joe line, and that's something that a lot of modern G.I. Joe lines missed, was doing, different ranks of people.
All action men. It's nice. It just builds the... It really does remind... This whole line really does remind me of Master Universe Classics, honestly, more and more now.
Except it's at retail, so it's even more accessible.
Yeah, because it's not even just because there's so many different characters, but it feels like they are telling a story through these figures, which I like.
And it helps with these photos too when they put multiple figures together. It doesn't feel makes the assortments not feel so random. But here's Dreadnought Torch, who has a skull with eyes blaring out in fire to blow his fire, like his torch fire. I stopped. It was too rad and my brain stopped working. That's what just happened. There's a close-up of it. You can see the skull, and it's just like... everybody's mentioning Metal Gear Solid. I fell asleep during the first cutscene of Metal Gear Solid 5, and I never looked back.
That's not the good game.
I know that's not a good one to start with, but it was free on PlayStation Plus. I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I literally fell asleep during the cutscene because it was so long.
If you need somebody to tell you about Metal Gear later on, I'll help you.
All right, sounds good. I need to play through Kingdom Hearts first. I have bought the Kingdom Hearts games, and they're just sitting here not being played. I need to... Yeah. Yes, Spin Dash, I started with 5 because I didn't... It was free. It was free. I literally didn't have to spend any money to try it. It was free, and it was terrible. I hated it. What I need to do is go back to the older games and play those. But again, I need to play Kingdom Hearts because I bought them all. They're all even the rhythm game I got. Spin Dash is on Kingdom Hearts support. I got like 4 or 5 people that are like, I'll help you with Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, I got a team. I got a Sentai team of people to help me through Kingdom Hearts.
Well, you had that Sora amiibo, right?
I do have the Sora amiibo, yes.
We need to make that. I know.
Amiibo War Stories is coming.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but it's coming.
I need to draw that thumbnail because I already have the idea what to do for that thumbnail.
I'm excited. We also, what was it? Someone on Jerry's stream, I can't remember who it was, said if Amiibo War Stories doesn't pass the YouTube certification, Amiibo Safari Stories would work in its place.
That's it. Yeah. Or
it was Lord Doom.
Yeah, or the great amiibo, the great amiibo hunt.
The great amiibo hunt. Yeah, we got options, but Amiibo War Stories will be the spirit of it. Anyways, Torch looks great. We stopped talking about Torch and started talking about Metal Gear. Yeah, and that was pretty much the G.I. Joe stream. That was some good stuff. God, you guys ready to talk about the flood of Figuarts?
Yay!
Oh, something I know more about.
Yeah.
Slightly. I'm not.
I know anime.
Oh my god, I'm still opening links, guys. I was like, let me prep everything, and I'm like, maybe.
But at least those G.I. Joe toys look cool. I mean,
I think the line is just selling it off the fact that it's just amazing toys. Like that's just ultimately what it is they're just amazing toys. Okay, so Figuarts. As many people may know, a ton of Figuarts went up ostensibly last night on Japanese retailers. So let's do it, guys. You ready for this? All right. First up, SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy Romance Dawn is Monkey D. Luffy from Romance Dawn.
That looks great.
Who knew? This, I'm just going to zoom in like this if you guys don't mind. It's not going to be centered, but we can see him better. This looks like a much better figure than the Wano arc Luffy.
The Wano arc the Wano figure, I heard the biggest issue is still how the legs work because they're not like solid in; they're like just pegged in.
Yep.
Like
this looks better, and what I'm noticing here is the back of his like fuzzy cuff is on a hinge, so that way his knee actually bends.
The Wano figure had that in the design.
Welcome, Commodore 64.
But I think it got budgeted out.
Yeah.
Because it's still there. Like, there's literally a pin in the joint. Still there, but you can't move it. So it looks like a little scrap very much last minute on the Wano figure.
This one definitely has improved on that. And I think it's, having that as there is great. I like the way the Anime Heroes does it, where it just extends out a little bit to move around it. But this looks great.
And if you have both, you probably could just make a regular timescale Luffy view, just combine the two figures together.
Yeah, you could use like the torso of the Wano and the legs of the yeah. He's got smiling. He's got smiling.
Anime. Got the anime meat.
Where's anime meat? Anime. This is literally a manga volume cover right here.
No, him running. Running with the meat in his hand. Yeah.
Commodore 64. This is the other thing I'll mention right now. I forgot to switch. Sorry, I forgot to switch tags. Forgot to mention Dino Charge in the Sentai video. I recorded Dino Charge, and I mentioning that Kyoryuger became Dino Charge. I recorded that. I don't know where it went.
like Dino Charge or Dino Force Brave?
Dino Charge, because I was mentioning each Sentai, like what each Sentai got adapted to. I completely missed putting back in the clip saying Kyoryuger was adapted to Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge. I know I recorded it. I found the footage. I just don't know how it ended up not in the video.
Whoops.
Yeah. It may also have been because Kyoryuger was like 1 minute and 47 seconds already. Anyways, I love the meat. The meat here is great. But Monkey D. Luffy Romance Dawn is 4,000 yen or 4,400 yen with tax. Went up for pre-order and release date in August. which is my birthday month. So maybe I'm gonna get Luffy for my birthday. He's
if,
getting distributed everywhere. So if you didn't get a Japanese pre-order,
I won't be surprised to see which because I've been seeing the Wano figure now appear in my Targets now. So I
yeah.
won't be just like because I won't be to see
With
this,
this price point, I think he's gonna be in Target like Naruto is and
yeah.
Wano Luffy and all that. Yeah. All right, next one.
You know, I'm surprised they haven't done like a stretchy arm accessory
On any
like,
of them, right?
Yeah, because
we're like on our third Luffy, and there's no stretchy arms.
Yeah, Luffy's one of those characters that like it's hard to do his power set on a budget. So I'm sorry they haven't done a accessory pack yet.
Yeah, they'll probably do it like they did Goku, and they're like, "Here's accessories for Luffy." RX-0, yes, that's exactly what I said. Romance Dawn Nami, which I really want to get. She's like top of my wish list at the moment because you know
first Nami, our first of the current
era, our first Nami figure. She looks terrific. She's of course got her staff. She's got multiple faces. She comes with a box of treasure, and she also comes with that.
She also comes with angry, yelly face. I think she comes with a face for Romance on Luffy, which is him like scared. I think.
Yeah, it's him smiling with this insane smile on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. They look great together. I'm probably gonna get both. I think the Luffy looks great. And I like the Nami. You know, because I if they had made Time Skip Nami or Wano Nami, I wouldn't have really been happy because I don't like either of those looks for her, to be honest.
You will still pick it up because you have everybody else.
I would still pick it up because everybody else, yes. But I like this look of Nami more. And I like some of her later ones, like the Water 7 look she had was pretty good. Yeah, because the thing is, like, if Wano Nami was like a poster, sure, I like that design. But her, like, supposed to be in a situation where she's fighting, the hell are you wearing, girl? Like,
at least her main timescale outfit, is super scantily, and she can maneuver.
She can maneuver, yeah. It just looks like impractical because like one hit and things are gonna go flying. But like, anyway, it's still like she's got maneuverability. All right. Next up, we got
Wano Robin would be a pure traffic cone.
Yeah, Wano Robin would be a traffic cone. Ultraman and Emmy from Ultraman Rising is releasing in July. Also went up for pre-order March 4th.
That's the name of the baby. You're curious?
Yes. Where's the baby? The baby is named Emmy. Yes.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we heard the name. So yeah, my God, look at him. He's a freak. I love him.
He's also articulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got bulging arms and legs.
Also, nice he's the metallically silver because I see some of the other toys are making that pure white, which is actually really it's not like it's super inaccurate because he's super shiny in the trailer.
Yeah, I love how skinny he is too.
He looks so like it's one of the things where this is what I imagine like Ultra's looking in like animation because I imagine them looking like some weird like alien creatures.
Also speaking, so there you go, right? I was gonna say when we seen the human form of him too, he's also that like super skinny, lanky. So, yeah. Jerry, what do you think of Mr. Probably Needs a Burger?
I was saying, like, it works because, like, Alex Darklaw was saying they look like alien. I'm like, they are, so it works.
Yeah. I like it. Spin Dash says, can you stand without a stand? I was worried Shin Ultraman couldn't, so I think he'll be fine. Because Shin Ultraman stands fine.
Figuarts are not top heavy.
Yeah, they're pretty lightweight.
It's not like
it's more like his toothpick legs. Can they hold up?
I think they can based on Shin Ultraman and based on somebody else that's like super thin. Or am I thinking about Brooke? That's a different company.
Bro, you're probably thinking about because the problem with something like the Marvel Legends 2099 from Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
his chest is too his chest is too dense, too heavy. That's why he likes to fall a lot. Figuarts are pretty lightweight.
So yeah, that torso's definitely hollow. I think he'll be fine.
So I think he'll be fine. I might be trickier to balance him in terms of
he doesn't come with a stylish body. I was just gonna make sure he didn't come with like a stand or something. Yeah, it's interesting. He comes with 4 pairs of interchangeable hands, color timer, and replacement first part 2. I don't know what that means, but
I doubt it's gonna be a beam effect because I think that because I think that you do give him a beam effect, he will just fall down because those beam effects are heavy.
He comes with a little baby alien instead of a beam effect. So
the baby alien might have multiple parts, like give a different expression. I won't be surprised.
Well, anyways, that comes out in July, so a month after the movie. Next up, coming out in August, you guys are noticing how a lot of this stuff is July, August, September. Like,
Summer.
instead of being 1 month, it's like across 3.
Hasbro.
Anyways, Father of Ultra from Ultraman Ace. Specifically, they are calling it the Ace version. He doesn't have the cape. He is this Ace design with the big old. I was gonna say a thing I can't say on YouTube. His chest is large. I was gonna say something so much worse.
He's much more chunky compared to his modern appearances.
And his chest is large. That's what I was trying to go with.
I wish he came with the Santa gear.
I wish the Santa gear is probably a part set. But he is retail, which is nice. I hope Mother of Ultra is also retail, because if she's not, that's misogyny.
Hopefully that's more like the later designs and not the the early Taro appearance.
I don't want first episode Mother of Ultra. I want like later in Taro Mother of Ultra. Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine he did.
Yep.
then we can't cover on YouTube because that'll be censored. We need to censor a lot.
Next up, SH Figuarts Spider-Punk from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
He looks terrific. They really nailed his look, and his skin color's pretty good. I say pretty good because it may be a little dark, but considering we're talking about how too many figures are too light, a little dark's not bad, right?
To be fair, I don't think we ever see Hobby in like a bright light.
We don't ever see him in normal colors because he refuses to conform to normal colors.
Yeah.
So we have no idea like what his skin tone should be.
Unlike Miguel,
unlike
Miguel, where we see multiple shots of him in bright light.
What I need to do is I need to bust out the art book and compare it. But I'm also not buying this because I have money. But
I mean, it's kind of nice because the Marvel is actually really hard to find.
Yeah. But this looks great. I think they did a good job with him. All right, next up we have the only Japan-only release of the big batch of Figuarts, and that is the Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Ahsoka. Reason why it's Japan-only is because... licensing, something weird at Lucasfilm. We get Marvel Figuarts, but we can't get Star Wars ones.
Hey, we joke about how she has Dragon Ball Z pants all the time, and here we are.
And here we are. Her face expression, I think this gritted teeth one is the best looking one. That looks like... Because this looks like Disneyland Ahsoka to me, not Rosario Dawson.
Speaking of Ahsoka and Hasbro Star Wars.
Yes.
So, you know how Hasbro's doing the Epic Hero stuff for Star Wars now, right?
Yes.
Like the Marvel line. I found out recently because someone did review them. They're worse than the Marvel ones.
How are they worse? The Marvel ones suck.
They only have 5 points of articulation.
Oh my god.
They literally just 5 POA figures.
Yeah, Zeltrax made a good point. At least this one has thigh swivels. Yep, this one does have thigh swivels. And
they only have 5 points of articulation, and even though they're the same cost, how
are they worse than these that are already not worth their money?
Yeah, the Marvel ones at least have in and out shoulders and elbows and knees at least and such. But yeah, the Star Wars ones are the same price, but they only have civil arms.
Whatever deal Hasbro made with Disney for the Lucasfilm license was a bad deal.
Yeah, because when I saw Epic Hero Marvel Star Wars, okay, that's fine. I saw they only have 5 POA. I'm like, what's going on?
Ahsoka's face here is my feel telling me that the Epic Hero Star Wars are worse than the Marvel ones.
Yeah, they don't even have vehicles, unlike the Marvel ones.
Don't worry, Silverbucks, we're almost at tier list time. She also comes with the planet map, and then the planet map split in half, and she comes with a cloak. But again, she's Japan only, so good luck. All right, here's the thing I want to talk about. And Bandai was promoting this like it was a great thing. They said, general reservations open at 1600 on Monday, March 4th, which means they're already open. Pre-orders are now open for 25 new products to be released from July to October, and 9 new products to be resold from June to October. Guys, that's 34 items that went up at the exact same time. And, like, the thing is, Ami hasn't put their pre-orders up yet, but Amazon Japan put their pre-orders up. Like, how are you as a fan? Because, like, most likely, if you're a Figuarts collector, there's more than one thing you want out of this batch because of how wide-reaching it is. How are you supposed to order everything before stuff sells out? Like,
yeah, I mean, but it's not, to be fair, half of those are releases, so it's not like if you were like
right. But if you wanted all the secondary writers and you missed the main writers that go with those secondaries, the main writers are going up for reissue at the same time as the secondary reissues. That's 10 figures if you wanted all of them. There's 2 Ultramans, right? There's there's 2 Undead Unluck figures. There's 1 Star Wars, 1 Marvel. There's 3 One Piece figures. Like, it's a lot.
A lot. Yep.
Like, you know, I don't think both Nami should have gone up in the same day, and they come in different months, right?
Yeah, like
yeah.
there's several, because especially for the anime side, there's a lot of figures I want to get, but like, oh good.
Yep. I like, for me, I'm like, I gotta, you know, tonight 9 p.m. Eastern, Ami. I'm hoping to get Father of Ultra because I worry about the Ultramans when they get distributed. Everything else, yeah, Spin Dash says everything probably sold out in the time it takes you to add to cart everything you want. Exactly. I'm personally trying to get Nami and Father of Ultra tonight, and then I'll just get Luffy and Rising Ultraman and Itachi on Big Bad or something like later. Anyways, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. All right. Next up, we've got the Shinkocho Seiho 10th Anniversary Project. They're going to be revealing figures. Is, you know, there's a schedule down here. The first reveal is this page is too large. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shrink it a little bit so we can actually read the words. They're building up to the 100th Shinkocho Seiho. Number 95 will be a anniversary release of Hyper Kabuto, which is great because he's been really hard to get. They're going to reveal number 96, 97, and 98 on the 14th because Bandai won't just reveal one thing. They got to flood you with everything. And I hope one of these is Garo related because they keep putting Garo in the promotional image. Even if it's just a reissue of Garo, it would be nice for another Garo figure.
I'll pre-order him.
The 100's just for Rider. Oh, that's weird. Then why are they advertising like? Oh, there's been 100? Wait, there's been 100 Rider Seihos? Spin Dash should know this better than me because he has spreadsheets.
Well, I was about to say it can't be. It's only like 20.
Oh no, it does say Shinkocho Seiho Kamen Rider series 10 years have passed. This is appearance. We're finally steps away from the 100.
Spin Dash says both.
Yeah. It's both. Okay, so it's 100 overall, but all of these are going to be Riders. Well, that sucks.
Oh, great.
I'm no longer excited. Moving on.
I wait. I just wait on my pedestal waiting for a Garo release.
Okay, so 10th anniversary for Seiho, 100th Seiho. Right? God, I want another Garo or another Sentai or something.
Either just release the Koga armor or make the Ryuga armor. Either or.
Spin Dash has lists, everybody, if you want to know, because Spin Dash has got the coolest list for that.
Go to our click the link to our Soundout Discord
in the Discord and on his Twitter. So check it out. All right. Update for Kaiju number 8. I think because people complain that the Kafka Hibino Figuart was not coming with the stuff that the Figuarts was, which is specifically these like leg spike things. And the arm popping out. They have said with new bonus parts, you can recreate his elbow thruster, pile anchor, and the action scene. So there's going to be bonus parts. It's not a parts kit. It's just going to be included with the figure, which is great.
Kokoro's exclusive figure, I standard.
Yep, for the moment. All right, then we got the Earth. It's funny how this turns Scarred into stock. The Earth Garen Mod 2, Mod 3, Mod 4 options part set.
That's their rival name from the Antiverse.
Yeah, stock. This is going to be... Yeah, this is kind of like... Kyle, that's a good comparison. This is how Blazar got announced to have a sword later on. Exactly. Good comp for that. This is going to include all the parts to make Mod 2, Mod 3, and Mod 4 for Earth Garen, which is, shoulder cannons, wing pack, all that. So shoulder cannons, wing pack. You get the Earth Fire effect part and a stand. You get the what is this? Oh, you get the dead gray eyes, like when he's powered down.
Does it have the X's on them?
Not the X's, because I think the X's were already included with the main one. Or no, maybe not. It doesn't have the X's. It's just gray eyes.
The regular release has the swirly eyes.
Anyways, you also get the spiral blade. And the summoning for the Spiral Blade, and hands for Blazar. So it's like, if you have Blazar and Earth Garen, this is the part set to get to round out your set.
No beam? That's interesting.
No beam, yeah. You get the Earth Fire. I think the beam's going to come with Frydran armor.
Frydran, yeah, at this point, yeah.
Now, this is 6,600 yen. It is a Tamashii web shop exclusive. However, it does say Japan, Asia, and US. But unlike other P Bandai Ultraman stuff, which goes up like at the same time on P Bandai US, it's not up on P Bandai US yet. So it does say we're getting on the US, But I must remind you, they did say we're going to get Combinator 02, and that never happened either. But I'm wondering if when the Figuarts pre-orders go up this week on the US retailers, this is going to go alongside it. Kind of like how the Digimons are P Bandai in Japan, but retail over here. Or Figuarts Miguel O'Hara. He was P Bandai in Japan, but he was retail over here. So I think this it's a 50-50 shot. It's a shot that they messed up and we're not getting it, or we're getting it as a retail thing because Blazar did get its simuldub and all that. So we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. And then lastly, thanks to Spin Dash for sharing this Facebook post. There is a Kamen Rider Buffa and Fever Parts set with Fever Parts for because we got Fever Parts for Geats already. Tycoon, Nago, Punk Jack, Buffa, Fever Parts plus thing, and Spin Dash mentioned here this could be an expensive set with Buffa, Fever Zombie, Jamashin, and Fever Parts for Nago, Punk Jack, and Tycoon. So we'll see what that ends up being. But there is more Geats stuff. They're not done yet. We're not free of it yet. And that's Too Many Figuarts, the segment where we talk about Too Many Figuarts, because what the hell, Bandai? That was a lot. And that doesn't include all the stuff we talked about last week that went up this week.
Oops, all Figuarts.
Oops, all Figuarts. All right, let's move on to some other news. What do you guys think? Jerry, you ready for some other news?
Yeah, why not?
All right. We're going to do general Bandai news. Mini Pla Boom Boonger Robo was the only toy announced this weekend. By
the way, I think it just broke out to like the last hour, but I think we were talking about the mystery black boxes of the Yudo Boom Boonger stickers. I think I saw they're coming with that weird tire car, like invisible boatmobile thing they can do. I seen clips of.
Oh, like the mecha cockpit thing.
Is that it? I guess
because it's like when they're getting into the cars and they like shift a little bit and then they turn into a seat. Send me the link. We'll cover that right after. Anyways, we got Boom Boom Jirobo. This is going to be the base set of 3. So you got trailer. You got.
There's an entry chat right now.
I always love how the Bandai promo images for candy toys don't mask how bad the stickers are.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're like, this is what it's going to look like. We're not trying to deceive you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it just seems random.
So there's Boom Boom Off-Road and Boom Boom Wagon. And they do have the gate mode function on the mini plot, which is pretty cool. It doesn't automatically spring open things, but, it's still there.
Oh, yeah, it's a candy toy, yeah.
Yeah, here's the combined version. Looks good. I realize my window's a little off-center here. More articulated. They talked about how with the past couple seasons they had trouble making mini plot distinctive because the deluxe mecha had so much articulation, and
now we're back.
Now we're back to the mini plot doing the articulation.
Just like a Boom Boomer is back to normal. It's now back to normal with the DX toy and the candy toy now.
Yep. And so it looks pretty cool. And what's interesting is they're also including these little plastic standees of the Boom Boongers. So that's kind of a weird thing, but it is split across 6 boxes, and they did say that is due to the economy. So.
Does it have parts to turn it to?
Yes, it is. It does have a part for Boom Boom, Boondario Boom Doris, or whatever his name is, Boom Boom. Silver Bricks liked Boom Boom. I liked Boom Boonger as well. I thought the first episode was great. A kind of nice return to form in a lot of ways, in a good way. But they kept it fresh still, which was nice. But yeah, these little standees, they look like a sticker on top of a piece of plastic, and that's kind of neat. Just to add some more value to the fact this has to be across 6 set. There's a weird premium sticker included. There is. Oh yeah, they're also selling it as a pack of 6. Like if you just want to buy the box, there will be a box of 6.
That's nice.
As opposed to the case. They've been doing that for the last few years, which is good. And there is some kind of sticker bonus if you buy it somewhere, I think. Anyways,
and the Yudo thing is in the stream chat. So.
All right, let me pull up the Yudo thing. Let's see if Discord's gonna lag. Discord's lagging. Woo woo woo. Discord's lagging.
Red alert. Woo woo woo.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So for those who haven't seen the show yet, when they go get in the vehicles, the tires on their backs slide down and put them in place, and then the tires on their feet roll down, and then they put the handle out, and then the car forms around them. So that's what this is representing. What is with the weird tabs on the back of their legs? What the heck are those?
Probably, you're right.
Those are strange.
I wonder if they click into something.
Yeah, I wonder now. Yeah,
future in like figure scale cars they could fit in maybe.
Maybe. I mean, they did make that one Yudo set of the exosuit armor thing for the King Oger set, so maybe.
They gotta be for clicking into something.
They gotta be something. I don't think they're just.
I kind of wish they
some people are saying child safety, Yudo just like that. It could be a thing because of the size of the part.
I kind of want to do this regularly.
Do not swallow safety taps. That would make sense. Spin Dash said that, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But they could also use them for pegs for something else.
I hope they do this just not besides for the cockpit. I wanted this to like on ground just like drive around.
That
like
would
this
be fun. They should do that at least for a gag. All right, the next Kamen Rider form is debuting this weekend, Platinum Gotchard. So we got I just wanted to look at this cute little bastard. This is Cross Hopper, the champion form of Hopper 1. Surprise, everybody! We all thought Gotchard was a Pokemon show. It's actually a Digimon show.
Wait, is that Dacho or is that a joke?
This is a joke. In Gotchard, we have seen Mad Wheel become Mach Wheel and then turn back into Mad Wheel. We've seen Steamliner turn into Tenliner and turn back into Steamliner. We're going to see Hopper 1 turn into Cross Hopper and probably turn back into Hopper 1.
I do like the little figure.
Let's go back to the rookie forms for some reason.
Exactly.
He does look, though, I will say he does kind of look like a bath toy.
He does. And that's the thing is that the thing I think that's fun about this is that we all thought it was a Pokemon thing because the Kemis say their own names and there's like a collecting thing. But like Gotchard's wearing goggles, we should have known it was a Digimon show from the start.
Also, it's Bandai.
Anyways, this plugs into Tenliner and his little goggles flip down, so he's just like going toot toot train, let's go. And there also will be a bundle where you get it with the Tenliner piece. And
honestly, I think my favorite part is form. I'm not too big on Platinum Gotchard. He's like too busy, and having just chains for arms look kind of hideous.
He's based on Big O though, officially.
It's one of those things where it's like I think I like the sport and fan art more than the actual suit because they don't have to worry about this thing called human proportions.
It's okay. It won't be around long because once they introduce this, it'll be gone.
Dad asked. I used to hate Gotchard. I like it now. It's growing on me.
I think the show's grown on me a lot too. I was kind of like wishy-washy on it, but
I watched the first episodes, did not care for it, and then watched it.
Majid's debut was like when I started like going, oh, I actually really like this show now.
Oh, so it's like Revive 2.0.
Yeah. Majid's like my favorite writer. She's like my favorite character on the show. She's so cool. Valverod's like, I don't know, Valverod grew on me too. He had like a whole 3-parter episode where I'm like, oh, I actually like you now.
You want to talk about design? You want to talk about over design? I hate his upgrade form. It's too much. It's too much. It's noise to design. The writer
form. Peacemaker said, I didn't know this till last week. Tenliner's voice actor is Guy from Gal Gaigar. That's pretty great.
Nobuyuki.
Yama, yeah.
Off topic comment, but MBBSU said, I gotta say, as a Disney Parks fan, I think Kingdom Hearts is the best they've ever captured the park spirit in a video game. I agree. That's why I'm like interested in it because I love the Disney parks, and that's why I want to play more Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Anyways, no, I actually the cast has grown on me. I think minor spoiler, but they stopped doing the school thing, and as soon as they stopped doing the school thing, the show got way better.
I always felt the school thing was tacked on.
It was so tacked on. It was like, oh, they go to high school, but there's also this alchemist academy, and they just like, you know what? These kids don't even go to school now. They got other things to worry about.
Yeah, no. It's like year Forza, where that's the whole point of the show, or it's just a classical. Why are you in high school if we're not going to have any stories about them being in high school?
Exactly, and that's where I think the show got better when it just like took the high school element out of it. All right, let's get to quick news here. The CSM Chalice was going to get announced in February, and they said that they postponed the announcement and details till April. So
remember, people, if you're asking if Chalice is not in the room, remember to say, where's Chalice?
Yeah. Fire Fury, that's a good point. I do want to go back to seeing more Kimi collecting, see more human and Kimi bonding. They kind of did that. Like, after Valverod's debut, they're like, let's just do a 2-parter where we bond with a Kimi, and then they went back to, like, you know, the plot. It's a little bit of an uneven show, and every time they do a two-parter, it feels like they didn't know where to cut it properly, and they're just like, well, that's 22 minutes. It's weird. Anyways, as I predicted back when the Ultra Epica Mabius Brace Ultra Brothers Edition was announced, I said they'll just release the Night Brace later, probably after they release the Mabius Brace. Well, the Mabius Brace is out in a couple weeks, so here's the Night Brace.
You gotta get it?
Totally gonna get it. I'm waiting for Amazon Japan to put it up. This is going to be an upgrade because they have now upgraded the lights. So it actually, I don't think the original had...
the original was solid. The original was a solid window.
Right.
No
lights on the original. Now it's got lights. It has voice lines for Ultraman Hikari and Hunter Knight Tsurugi, which is awesome. It's going to have, of course, sounds for Mabius, Burning Brave, and Phoenix Brave when you combine the two braces, which makes, sense because they're doing that thing. And it will also have 4 songs for 2 background music, and then Hikari's theme Radiance in both regular and instrumental. And then it's now got a motion sensor, so you can do the proper transformation with the motion stuff, which is freaking cool. And then, of course, it combines with the Ultra Epica Mabius. It does say it combines with the Ultra Brothers Edition. I believe it will combine with the original, but the original was a 2-pack anyway, so I don't see why anyone would have
it's the same mold, just some new electronics.
Exactly. And so, yeah, and the set comes with the brace, the stand, and then the 2 extra pieces that you swap. You swap the little gold bits out when you combine it, so it, holds a little different. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. All right, now we're going to switch over to McFarlane Toys, where they just showed some weird stuff. I'm just going to keep these at this distance. They're doing another Page Punchers wave where they write a new comic and then make toys based on it. But we got
I like these a lot.
I like these a lot too. That's why I want to talk about them.
It's one of the things where I think I like some of the original Page Puncher stuff a lot because it's more like a grown up version of Mattel's old Scuba Batman type of figures.
We got this crazy looking Superman in this armor thing, which looks pretty neat. Here's his cover where he's wearing a full armor suit that's like the classic Superman look, but armor, which is pretty neat.
No, this is pure original designs.
Yeah, pure original.
Oh, that's why you mentioned Scuba Batman. Okay.
Yep.
We've got Ghost of Zod, who's looking like a frickin' glow-in-the-dark werewolf.
Look at that. I thought that was Beast Boy who went through some bad times.
Yeah.
you mean Beast Boy? No, this figure. I love the Ghost of as a Zod design this year, but as a toy, I love this design.
Until now,
the Z belt,
yeah.
I love it.
I love how scandally, spindly he is. He looks cool.
I usually end up buying at least one of these from each Page Punchers wave. I think this might be the one I get. But actually, no, I realize that actually there's another one I want to get. What's interesting is that this time it says, actually, I just realized, I think it's different this time. It used to be one comic with multiple covers, but this says 204.
Are they finally? Because I know.
I think they're fine. Yeah, the Superman says 104. The Zod says, it's a 4-issue series. If you get
finally, because
that's kind of cool.
That gives you reason to buy them all.
Because the series started out, the Page Puncher line started out with all the same comic, which was kind of lame. Then I think started with the Aquaman wave. They all come with the
different
same
covers.
comic with covers, which is better. But they're coming finally with a 4-issue miniseries. Finally, I think that's definitely for the better.
I'm in. I'm gonna buy them all because I want to read this comic. Val Zod though is the one I really want because we haven't gotten a Val Zod figure yet.
It's so nice to finally get him.
Yeah, and he's got a cloth cape.
I think his Greebling's a little too much for my taste. I don't mind the McFarlane one. The
Greebling is because of this comic more than anything.
Yeah, but still, it's nice to finally have one. Definitely.
And then this Brainiac looks. Never mind. I actually am all board on this. I thought I was gonna be I'll just get Val Zod, but no,
the Brainiac. No, I was gonna get the Injustice 2 Brainiac, but then this guy revealed nope, because I don't like the Injustice 2 Brainiac. Yeah. So I like the design.
This is rad.
So
I freaking
love it.
And it looks really cool in the comic too. I'm in. I think I'm gonna get the whole wave because I want to read the comic. These toys look cool, and it's nice for Superman to get something like this and not just Batman.
As a huge, as Superman, as a giant Superman fan, I love these guys. They look cool.
They're really neat. I really like them. All right. That's it for. Oh wait, there's one more toy news. Sorry, almost forgot something. I almost forgot our boy. I left him at the airport. Good Smile Company's Deluxe Bravern is... that's not McFarlane Toys.
Bung, 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 bung,
Yeah.
bung,
Bravern!
Yeah.
The deluxe, big-ass, 200mm tall Bravern is coming out in January of 2025.
Yeah, that's what I figured. He's going to be in scale with the Gridman DX toys.
Yeah.
I figured, so yeah, which makes sense. He's a big boy. Yeah,
he's a big boy. He turns into his jet mode. He comes with his sword.
He makes his own Gunpla.
He has the axe that he made, that he built off of his 3D printer with his little Gunpla kit.
Yep.
There he is.
He comes to effect to make the Obari sword pose.
Yep, he's got Obari pose. He's got 4 faces here. He's got neutral. He's got screaming. He's got smiling, and he's got spoiler.
Underwater.
The bow mask.
Yeah. He looks amazing. I don't know if I'm going to buy this because, Good Smile Company and the Deluxe line.
I'm probably going to get the Monoroy because he scales with the rest of the other mecha toys figures I have.
Yeah.
So he looks great. The only thing he's missing is a tiny little Asami figure.
Yes.
You can play inside him.
He's also 16,800 yen. So he's an expensive little boy. 16,800. Not the worst, honestly. Like, I've seen worse.
My Lulu. Kakapi.
All right, guys. You asked for it. Sentai tier list time. I gotta prep it real quick. That's it for toy news, though. Like, I scoured the internet to find more stuff, and that was just all I got.
Should we do intermission? Should we do commercial break?
Let's do a quick commercial break so I can get some water and get ready for this.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right
after
back.
these messages.
And we're back with the Super Sentai tier list. This is going to be everything that was complete, so Boon Boonger's not here. I also didn't make a separate tab for Yodona because...
You guys have your pitchforks ready?
Superhero time. Oh,
Super Sentai Rally.
When we talk about Sentai tier lists and hot takes and Wheels shows up, I feel that we summon him.
Oh, we totally did. I expected that to happen. I was like, Wheels going to show up right when we start the Sentai tier list. It's never.
Pitchforks are ready.
Let's move to it. Cameron, I didn't talk about the Mutant Mayhem release date because I just didn't think there was anything to talk about. It's just like
wait, what?
The release date for Mutant Mayhem 2 is like 2026. So
okay, I never talked about I was like, what?
That was literally the only details we got. So I was like, that's it. That's all I get. I don't have any thoughts on it. So see you later, Zeltrax.
Yeah, what you don't see is Wheels handing out the pitchforks for your tier.
Exactly.
Probably.
It's like go get Soundout.
So the idea behind this tier list, we're going to rank all the Sentai shows I've seen to completion because I've watched I watched like a handful of first episodes to get a feel for some of these shows before doing the guide, but I haven't seen them all in full. Do
you see an episode? Do you see like an episode for each show?
I've seen at least an episode of each show. That's for sure. So the not watched category is just going to be what I haven't finished.
Yeah, for having 40+ series,
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Really, no. For having 40+ series, I thought that box would be much bigger. Honestly,
you think it would be, but that is everything, including the spinoffs. I double checked.
Also, I'm
Some
assuming
shows ran for a
just
while.
shows. I'm assuming no, like movies.
Yeah, we're not doing the
side
movies separate. Like movies are included with shows, you know. But Sentai movies never ruin a show, unlike a Kamen Rider. So yeah, I guess.
Fact.
Sup, Wheels? What?
I just said that's a fact. You know, like Scooby Doo.
Or the Animaniacs. Those are the facts.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So Go Ranger. Haven't taken that plunge yet. I want to. I just
remember Soundout. We have
the blood pact.
The blood. The I was gonna say blood orgy pact. You know where we're.
I was gonna say placked, so that way we didn't get you in trouble with YouTube.
What about have you read the manga?
I've read the manga because I bought the manga. The manga's short, unlike Go Ranger.
Where were you rank the manga if you were to include here?
I give the manga like a B. It's fine. It's not the best. I kind of wish it was like if we were ranking like the Kamen Rider manga was like an S tier manga, but like the Go Ranger manga I think was just like too short. Yeah. But okay. So now here's the thing, guys. Jack is not a good show. I want to preface this. Jack is not a good show.
It's not.
It's a chaotic mess.
I just like it because
it's enjoyable though.
I'm putting it an A, guys. That is the most unpredictable Sentai I've ever seen in my life. I loved it.
Like, Jack is so bad. Like, Jack is so bad. It's good. It's like 100% one of those. It's no bad.
100%
of the time.
Like, there should not be an episode where like a massacre happens and they have to find the crime boss that gave out the order. Like, that's just not appropriate for Sentai or children's programming. But they do it in like episode 4 or something. Like, it's
that's amazing.
The show is ridiculously dark in the first half.
I forget. Was Jack the one
of the first 2 Sentais because they don't know what they want to be.
You might get this before they became Sentai.
Well, actually, that's a myth. They were always Super Sentai. It's just Toei was categorizing them differently because they didn't want to pay Ishinomori rights.
Of course.
Yep. That's why. That's why Jacka and Go Ranger. And this is my theory. I don't think it's 100% confirmed. Jacka and Go Ranger were integrated into the Super Sentai franchise proper after Ishinomori died, and that says to me that he was getting money and they didn't want to pay him money.
Question about Jacka. Is that the series with the elephant club I've always seen?
You know what? Jacka's so zany in the second half, I'm not exactly sure.
It
is the one where Big One dresses up as Hitler so he can trick a bunch of Nazis into following him off a cliff. That is the kind. The show starts with hitmen and ends with like tricking Nazis. It's amazing.
You convinced me. You convinced me to watch Jacka now.
The greatest. You think Shurikenger was good with disguises in Hurricaneger? Like Big One has the greatest disguises of all time.
Oh, it reminds me of.
Wait, Soundout. Do you remember when we were on one night and it was Big One's debut and like you and me misremembered because you and me both said we saw the Raws and like we misremembered. He just like walks in one day and says, "Yo, your commander's fired. I'm your new boss." There's nothing. It just
literally. He's like, we sent Joker to another country. I'm in charge now.
Yeah, and I
hey, Tokupunk.
More of the and I only remember the part though when he makes himself known to the villains when he just debuts. Yeah. Like that's the only part we remember is later on when he's like in disguise, like who the hell are you? And he's like, I'm Big, because like he doesn't tell them he can transform.
No, they don't even know until like he leaves it a mystery for like 3 or 4 episodes. He just like shows up on the battlefield and he's like, form your cannon, have fun, guys. And they never put it together until like a couple episodes later.
It reminds me of that one clip of Zubat where it's just him on the guitar playing the guitar, and he's meeting the anime group, and he just like launches the boomerang to cut all the people's pantses and repairs a sign.
Dottie Waldman exactly said this. So it's a typical Showa Toku that got invaded by Hayakawa Ken. Yes.
Also, LPH, no, Jaka did not air along Amazon because what's it? Battle Fever J air along like V3, right?
No. V3 was way earlier. I think Jaka was Amazon because in Jaka versus Go Ranger, they're like, here's our status of the heroes around the world. They're like, V3's over here, and Amazon's over here, and Kikaider's over here. So, like, I think it was around Amazon.
What was the Sentai writer of? What was that big Toei photo with Toei Spider-Man and Doraemon?
That was just a photo shoot.
Okay, I thought that was like
just a magazine photo shoot. They didn't do any specials. They didn't do any filming for it.
I thought that was like I thought that was a photo of the shows of the time Toei kind of scenario.
It kind of was, yeah. And it was just like for photos. What I'm gonna go check right now. We're gonna go check right. I have my documents, guys. I saved my notes for these videos. Amazon was 1974. Yeah, okay, I know Jacka was way later. Jacka was 77, so it's 3 years later. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Go Ranger was 75. Stronger was 75, right? I think, okay, it's actually legitimately, don't quote me on this because it might be a little bit off. I think it literally went Stronger, Go Ranger, Jacka, and then Skyrider and Battle Fever aired together.
Oh yeah, because I think Stronger was enough for the with
the
Toei Spider-Man and
because
such.
I think Go Ranger started close to the end of Stronger or after Stronger. Like Ishinomori Productions shifted focus from Rider to Sentai for a couple years. Then Sentai went to Toei, Toei proper, and then Ishinomori went back to Kamen Rider.
Remember, guys, Skyrider was meant to be Shin Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be. Oh, originally it was just Kamen Rider.
Yeah, Kamen Rider.
It was a reboot.
Was he also like Jack? Was he also called Shin Man back in the day, or Shin Rider pretty much?
Yeah, Shin Rider was kind of like his name for a while. All right, Battle Fever J I haven't watched yet.
Miss America gives me nightmares, and that's why I refuse to watch the show.
That's fair. It is. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this. I don't think there's any other Sentai team that's red, blue, orange, green, and pink. I think that's a unique color scheme.
You guys, that's your nightmare.
See, the thing is, the funny part, everyone was like, oh, Boom Boonger has the same colors as Battle Fever. Yeah, except Battle Kenya is not a Black Ranger. He's a Green Ranger.
According to the toys, apparently.
According to the toys, according to promotional photos, and according to the fact that I didn't realize this until looking at pictures from Gokaiger, Battle Kenya wears green when he's not morphed.
Good old crusty 5 foot.
Oh, is this like the G Gundam situation?
Yes.
I didn't figure out his hair was green.
Because the thing is that Battle Kenya's costume is primarily black with green highlights, but Battle Japan is primarily white with red highlights, and France is white with blue highlights. So technically, the highlight color should be their color, and then Miss America is pink, but she's got mixes of blue, and Battle Cossack is just orange, orange, and orange. So yeah, it's weird. Oh, Common Jojo says, I saw Battle Fever J in a Mexican channel back in 2012, and I can't find information of that broadcast, so I guess that's just lost media. Basically, yeah.
It might be one of those your area cable network things, and not like
could have just been a local station. Was like, let's just air some weird stuff.
Yeah, I think that's probably the scenario there.
All right, Dingy Man, haven't watched that. Haven't watched Sun Vulcan. Haven't watched Goggle 5. No. Haven't watched. For everyone knowing, I have a plan of just starting a Go Ranger and just moving forward through the.
I thought you would have seen Sun Vulcan. I thought Sun Vulcan would be more your.
I thought so too. I've been wanting to watch it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Somehow.
One time when we were watching, like when you were.
Thanks, Master Ben. I do have Battle Fever though. I do have the fan subs for it.
Remember when you were hard subbing Sun Vulcan and you were doing that just so you could send it quicker to me or Dark on at the time.
Yeah,
and you never did, to me at least. I think it was Dark. Anyways,
I guess I should fix that at some point.
And the goddamn wrong animal shows up.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was looking through clips to check the hard sub. In the early half of Sun Vulcan, when they do the roll call, they're like Vol Eagle. They show a picture of an eagle and it's Vol Eagle. They show a picture of a shark and it's Vol Shark. They show a picture of a cheetah and then Vol Panther shows up. They did that for half the show, and then they finally fixed it later on by removing the animals.
My favorite thing about Goggle V is pointing it out in the show Facts of Life. Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Facts of Life.
Me watching Facts of Life, and I pause it, and I'm like, wait a minute.
It's like, what's Goggle Red doing here?
And Andre from Black Nerd Comedy sold
my favorite part about Goggle 5.
He's mad at me. I got more attention on that. I was like, what?
Goggle 5. Goggle 5, right, is so weird.
I'm just going to put the other guys I haven't watched in here.
and it ends with them just fighting Shumagorath. I shit you not. It's
basically
versus Shumagorath.
Marvel?
Yeah, because the Marvel license was over, but they licensed a couple character designs for Goggle 5. There's a villain in one of the shows.
The villain is literally Shumagorath.
There's one of the villains in one of the shows. She's literally the same design as Hela. And she was like a licensed character.
That should be a video you should make later on. The hidden Marvel Easter eggs, the Super Sentai Toei Productions.
It's complex. Anyways, I haven't seen Bioman Dynaman, Bioman, or Changeman either.
I remember watching some of Bioman because I think someone uploaded like the English dub on YouTube for a bit. I remember watching it a lot there. I do really like Bioman.
Yes, Queen Hedrium. Bioman seems really cool. Again, I want to watch all these shows. I'm at the point where I'm like, I should just start at Go Ranger and just watch everything except for the gaps I got.
Yeah, no, okay, so I was watching this week people talking about Sentai, and people like, there's more to 80s Sentai than just Live Man. And then Ukiya Seed comes in, like Bioman. And I almost replied, no, don't you say that, because if it's not Live Man, it's always Bioman. Don't try. I almost got in there, because if you don't know, before guys in spandex finished their sub of freaking of Live Man, Bioman was the one in the 80s that everyone flocked to, mostly because Southeast Asians all freaking made it available for us to see.
Yep.
Is that the English? Is that the English dub I saw on YouTube?
Yes, the English dub was from Southeast Asia. Bioman was like the hot thing in Southeast Asia.
Bioman is so is super hot in the Southeast Asian areas that by proxy. And also, I think in areas of Latin America, that by proxy, it was one of the earliest 80 Sentai fully subbed, and that's why most people know about it, is because of that superior. I wouldn't say superiority, but they influenced early 2000s.
Remember, Power Rangers was good at that Bioman.
That's true. Right? And probably because of how popular it was in Southeast Asia. That was probably the reason.
The Bioman pitch pilot that's lost that people were still trying to find.
We have a marketing folder that proves that it existed. Let's see. So, Kamen Jojo, you're not a fake fan if you've seen most Power Rangers, but only 3 Sentai. They're like almost the same thing in so many ways.
There's nothing wrong with only seeing some Sentai versus all Power Rangers. Nothing wrong with that.
You've taken the step into Tokusatsu, so you're already doing better than most people in the world. All right, we need to get back on track so we actually finish at a reasonable time.
You guys do that because I'm gonna head off.
All right, sounds good. Yeah.
Doesn't help that it's been so long that I remember most of the Sentais, but I'm not sure I can rank them personally because it's been so long for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, have fun with this. You want to follow me at Darko643 on YouTube and Twitter. If you want archive images like the very ones you see this very channel, which I will assume if you're curious, I will be making one for the G.I. Joe classified soon. I just need to get Soundout to help me work on that. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, so you want archive images, so feel free to DM me on either Twitter or Soundout Discord protocol. Always have a nice night, everybody.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll see you next week. All right. Master Ben 95 says, so when are you going to tier list Metal Heroes? When I watch them. My plan for Metal Hero is when I either finish Rider or Sentai, I'm just going to watch all the Metal Heroes in order. I just want to watch them in order.
Metal Hero than Soundout.
Well,
I'm the guy who should probably do it. I see more Metal Hero than Soundout. I'm the guy who should do the tier list for Metal Hero.
Yeah, probably for sure. All right, Flashman.
Probably, I think the same amount of Sentai.
I don't think we've seen the same Sentais, but we've seen the same number of Sentais, right?
I'm pretty sure we have because wait, hold on.
You think about it. I'm going to rank Flashman A because I love Flashman.
Found out how many pre 5-man shows have you watched fully?
Pre 5-man, I've seen Jacka, Flashman, Live Man, and Turbo Ranger. I started Maskman. I need to get back to it.
Okay, I think you now technically have one more than me.
And I've seen every show from 5-man through Hurricaneger.
Oh, okay, so then I have more than you. Never mind.
Because we'll get to it. We'll just get to it later. Flashman's an A. I think Flashman's great. Good use of its runtime. Really good character work. Surprisingly, emotional and dramatic for kind of a. It's a goofy show for a lot, but then they really get you in the heartstrings. So I really like it. I haven't finished Maxman yet. Live Man, I mean, do I even have to say Live Man's an S tier? Of course it is. It's my favorite Sentai of all time, and that's never changing at this point. I mean, nothing's rolled up into my life going, I'm better than Live Man for you. And no, I love Live Man so much. Do I just talk about why I love Live Man, or do we just continue with me saying I love Live Man?
Well, give 2 points why you love Live Man, and why is it the suits?
All right, 2 points. All right, how about the suits are number 3?
Okay.
Point number 1 I love about Live Man. it's like the foundation of all modern Sentai in terms of storytelling format and how the mecha fights work and how the villain stories work, right? And then point number 2 is the character work is incredible on this show. The fact that like Sentai villains, from what I've seen, and I've sampled stuff. From what I've seen before Live Man, Sentai villains are like aliens come to Earth and attack everything, right? But when you get to Live Man, it's like, oh yeah, 3 of the 4 main villains are your former classmates who just killed 2 of your friends. And that just raises the stakes so much higher at that point.
I love the meme when someone said, explain a Sentai series poorly. And I said, I'll technically say it out of context, but it's not poorly. I said, series begins with a school shooting.
Yep, literally. And they put it in the intro every time, too. They make it, like, metaphorical, like butterflies and stuff. But that was, like, the most heartfelt, pulse-pounding opening. And it's like, where does the show go from there? And then it capitalizes on it. It actually, like, builds on it. It uses that emotional struggle for the whole show runtime. And it gives the villains arcs, too. And I think it's great.
Two horrible characters that screw up the whole setup.
The only thing is that, like, Green Sai and Black Bison were not supposed to be in the show. They were supposed to be guest stars for a 2-parter to introduce a mecha. Then they decided, maybe we should keep them around. Maybe we should make the team of 5. And so they just don't get the same level of development that the others do, because they're just supposed to be guest stars.
Especially because the horrible retcon in the show, because allegedly they're the younger siblings of the guys who got shot. It was only 4 years ago, and now they're like 18-year-olds, and you're like, that doesn't equal.
That's also a thing of like 80s Sentai. They don't time doesn't work the same way in Sentai as it does in our world.
You know, they literally pulled a Metalder. No, not Metalder. Jiraiya of how bad can we hope people don't remember the timeline.
Oh, speaking of timelines, Tokyo Go-Go should not look like adult Kagura in Strongest Battle. She should still be looking like kid Kagura, because that takes place before. That takes place 6. Strongest Battle takes place 6 years before Tokyuja returns, so it should be adult Kagura. It shouldn't be adult Kagura yet. It should be somewhat in between. Anyways, Turbo Ranger, also an A Sentai for me, because I know a lot of people don't like this show. I love Turbo Ranger. I really do. I guess I kind of get the hate for it, but like, I think it just got hated on for a while because a lot of people just said it was the worst Sentai without ever like saying why. I think it's great.
It's kind of bad, but I mean, like,
it's kind of bad.
5-man.
It's more consistent than Jacka, that's for sure. You know, so if I'm putting it in a tier, I'm putting it in an A. I like Turbo Ranger a lot. Yeah, okay, the premise doesn't line up with the theme, but like, I don't know, I really like it.
That's I think why people hate it.
Yeah, I think that's why it is like, it's not like the premise has nothing to do with cars, right?
Kingdom. That's why I technically sort of hated it, like younger me.
I think watching it with better subs helps too. Because it's like a lot like Live Man. It's very character driven, especially when you get to Yamimaru and Kirika later on. I really like the villains in this one too. 5-man. I gas up 5-man a lot just for kicks and giggles. I don't actually think it's that good. It's a C.
It's not.
It's zany. It's like super zany. I think the first episode is amazing, and the rest of the show kind of sucks.
I once showed Jerry, Kyle, and like other people that Jerry was friends with and stuff episodes of 5-man, and they just said, "What is this asinine acid trip of a Sentai?" Yep. They said, "This is the worst."
It is the one that nearly killed the franchise, as Mr. Ben said. I'm not gonna put it in D because it's not that bad, but like C tier, I think is where it belongs.
I showed them the vampire episode.
Oh god, that
cyborg episode.
Yeah. Did you show them the puppets though?
The Mpreg. Yeah,
Puppet 5-man is my favorite thing about that show.
I'm gonna say this right now. 5-man's worse than that one episode of Mpreg in Live Man, and now me saying that, probably all of Ranger Board is swarming like an army of orcs at frickin' Helm's Deep.
Here's the thing: I love Live Man, and the Mpreg episode can't stop me from doing that. Anyways, also because like Star Trek did an Mpreg episode for Enterprise, and that was also like surprisingly good if you just get past the concept. All right, Jetman. Oh god,
Hey, that's my favorite.
Oh boy, how do I say B? No, I'm kidding. It's an A.
Oh.
No, I Jetman is a show I really it's because it's in a way. It's very uneven, but like the characters and story like grab me, and I absolutely hate the ending. I hate the ending so much. That last episode, I wish that last episode never happened. I absolutely hate the ending of Jetman.
In a way, yeah, you're right with uneven, even though it's my favorite. Because you go back to Dawn Brothers, there's stuff I didn't like in that ending either.
Yeah, I don't like the Dawn Brothers ending that much either. Nor the Versus movie.
Do you guys want to hear something that's funny? Do you know what's funny?
Exactly, Master Ben. Why didn't Guy go to a hospital? He had time.
You guys want to know what one of Inoue best endings
Sit on a
ever?
park bench.
The Changerion ending is a masterpiece.
No, do you know what his best ending is? You guys aren't going to believe it.
Agito?
They brought him in for like one or two episodes of Death Note's finale. It was like,
oh my
God.
God.
Did like the first half of Death Note's adaptation, and then they brought him back to finish the last episode. So instead of Kira like dying, like just getting straight up shot up when they realize he's Kira, and him like going crazy and like and like Ryuk just writing his name in the Death Note.
That was in a way?
Well, yeah. So at the end,
the
end when Ryuk's like, yo, I got when you promised I get to write your name in the Death Note when your time came, but when he's doing it, instead of making it seem like super villainous, like Ryuk played Kira the entire time, Ryuk's like, man, we had some fun, like, it's a shame I really got to do this, man, because I actually did like you, and he's just like he rewrote it that like Ryuk's actually going, man, you were like the coolest person that ever gave me like a reason to live, and he's like, and it's like the funniest shit ever.
That was all in a way.
The author of Death Note. Yeah, and the Death Note author said it was like one of his most favorite things about the adaptation of the anime was Inoue making it that Ryuk was
That's
like,
hilarious.
I kind of feel sorry having to do this.
All right. That's amazing. I will keep Jetman in A because I don't like the ending, but the Gokaiger episode did help me go with the ending. I know that like it's like minor spoiler, but like Black Condor dies, and I know the actor wanted him to die. There were other ways. And I liked when Zenkaiger clowned on that ending a bit when they did their tribute. Their shot-for-shot remake of the ending. We'll talk about Zenkaiger in a bit. Zyuranger.
Okay, do you know what's another bad thing about Jetman?
Okay,
the way they
make it quick because I want to move on.
I just said it. The way they do in Tranza. You have to read a manga to find out what happens to actually Tranza.
Oh, don't read the Jetman manga, everybody. Don't read the... It's so awful. It's the worst thing.
It's bad. But it's the only way you find out how Tranza actually dies.
I know it's not canon. The Jetman manga is as bad as the original Cutie Honey manga. It's just so bad. It's also so incredibly uncomfortably horny. Like it's freaking Zyuranger manga. For Jetman. Anyways, I don't know. I just threw Zyuranger into F, and I'll tell you why.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you a single thing about this show. I watched the entire thing, and I remember, like, nothing. It was a complete blank slate. I was bored watching it. It just did not work for me whatsoever. That's why I added an F tier to be tough on myself. And like, if you guys like Zyuranger, I don't have any problem with anybody liking Zyuranger. Show's just a blank for me. It's like a blank in my memory.
For bringing Power Rangers over.
I think Power Rangers did more interesting stuff with it, to be honest.
Oh, they did.
Okay, this is the funny part. Power Rangers would do... Like, for every interesting episode of Power Rangers, there's, like, a weird adverse where Sentai and Power Rangers have this weird thing where some episodes are better, Mighty Morphin. Mm-hmm. Other episodes, you have to watch the Zyuranger episode because it's so much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They at least make more sense. Because, like, I'll tell you right now, the episode with Snizzard is a freaking horrible episode with Power Rangers. And he's one of my favorite monsters. Snizzard's one of my favorite monsters. But the Zyuranger episode, at least he has more character. Because they make it all about some stupid airplane trip that Kimberly's on. The episode.
I do like the... Cameron says, do I like the suits and Megazord design? Yeah, I love the Zyuranger aesthetic. I just felt like the show was a blank slate in my... It's a blank slate in my brain, and that's the worst thing that could happen.
Probably what made Power Rangers work, though, because of the blank slate.
Well, yeah, I think because it was such a blank slate, I think Power Rangers was able to capitalize on it. Psycho's like, don't mention Power Rangers. Yeah, it's gonna happen because I'm gonna mention. There's a couple of these that get ranked because of their Die Ranger A, totally.
I love Die Ranger.
Yeah, Die Ranger's great.
The ending is like, well, like Wheels explained to me, like it's because if you know your Chinese mythology.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
I do think it's really silly.
I still think it's fun though.
The ending is a little silly. Kujaku.
Especially if you love kung fu movies like I do.
Yeah, if you love Hong Kong martial arts, you're gonna love Die Ranger. You just got to get over. You got to get over Kiba Ranger being like a horny child.
That little snot nose.
The little snot nosed brat. I wanted to slap the shit out of him like halfway through the show.
Remember that gif I made of Homer? Code, that little snot nosed punk.
Yeah. Kaku Ranger S. I love Kaku Ranger. That is like one of my favorite. I know that show is wildly uneven too at times, but like I love Kaku Ranger. Everyone talking about how like wacky and zany it is, and I'm like, I remember the 6-part episode that in order for them to get Kakure Daishogun. That was like emotional and heartfelt and amazing. It was a saga. Also, today is Friday in California. Kaku Ranger's great.
Kaku Ranger's one of those weird ones where I love it, but when I go back and rewatch it for some reason, I don't know if you have this where you still love the show, but a part of you hates trying to watch it.
I think for me with Kaku Ranger, if I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, I'm gonna rewatch like episodes, but not like the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't rewatch
because some of the episodes are just zany and weird, and I just don't want to watch them again.
Exactly. Because like I, it's like Die Ranger.
But the overall experience is so good.
Episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Kaku Ranger's like it's in my tops. Cameron Raiders said thoughts on Super Sentai World. I love that little Super Sentai World special just because it's fun seeing that era of teams teaming up because they just didn't do it.
Better than the Kamen Rider one.
Yeah, I like it better than the Kamen Rider one for sure. O-Ranger F.
For what it had to do. Oh, really?
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I'll give it a D. I'll give it a D because it had to overcome real world situations.
What it had to do. That's why I'm like, there's a little.
O-Ranger I like because like it's just interesting.
I like a lot of what they were trying to do, but because of the real world situations, they kept having to kneecap themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I appreciate the struggle the show went through of like trying to tell it was going to go for this dark, gritty, cyberpunky story, you know, and it just couldn't because of the real world factors. But then they're like every time they were like, let's do an episode about suicide, and then somebody like had an incident in Japan. And they're like, well, we can't do that anymore. See, but yeah, no, I like a lot of ideas with O-Ranger, but in final execution,
O-Ranger has some of the best like choreography of like the
the action scenes are great,
Kung Fu, but like O-Ranger had like some of the best because they had all these great wide angles and overhang shots, like that one where they did the out of suit fight with the they were in that construction site, and they had like that one crane boom camera. That's one of the best fights.
The problem I have though is that the story and characters are complete flat cardboard. Like Donnie Wellman said, cardboard cutouts. It's same thing. It's just everybody's too flat. Because of the most stuff happening.
You know who the flattest characters are in that show? It's Blue and Green.
Yeah,
they are so flat, and
they drag the whole thing down because the 30-year team is just not interesting at all, and they don't do anything.
It's like funny how if you took them out of the show, Yellow, Pink, and Red would have still been a more competent team.
Yellow, Pink, and Red alone would carry that for sure.
And this part is Yellow Caddy with each other like every 3 episodes, so it's like it'd still be funny.
Psycho O said, which would you watch again, Zyuranger or O-Ranger? I would rewatch O-Ranger. I think I need to give it another shot. I would give O-Ranger a second chance. I don't think I'd go back and watch Zyuranger. But yeah, no, O-Ranger had a lot, but I still can't rank it any higher than D just because the overall final product is just not great. Also incest baby. All right, let's see.
Yes, incest.
I'm going to put Car Ranger in A. And I know that's, like, controversial, because, like, it is, we're talking about wildly uneven shows, but, like, I think the fact that, and I hate when people label Car Ranger as a parody. Absolutely hate that, because it's not. It isn't. It's a more comedic Sentai that has, like, some kind of fourth wall break. It doesn't even do any fourth wall breaks, per se, but it has some, like, poking at fun at tropes. Legitimately speaking, the humor that people brand Car Ranger as a parody is the same humor that RPM used when talking about Ranger stuff. And I don't see people calling Power Rangers RPM a parody. It's meta jokes, not parody. Yeah.
I think the reason why it was called parody for a while is that's how the Japanese were trying to translate it to describe it to
I think it was also Western fans that hadn't watched the show just looked at it like, oh, they made fun of this, therefore parody. Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things of just, or maybe the term, because everyone was like teenagers, so they didn't know satire and meta yet. They weren't taught that part of film. They just knew the term parody because of at the time scary movie and stuff like that.
Psycho said the parody word is on the DVD. Yeah, because they copied the Wikipedia text. Freaking hate that. Like, anybody that's actually watched Car Ranger knows it's not a parody. It just has meta humor. That show starts really dark, too.
A parody is Akiba Ranger. A parody is Akiba Ranger.
Exactly.
It's a satire of itself, you know?
This is, Car Ranger has got meta humor, but, like, it starts with a planet blowing up. There are scenes of torture in it. Like, VRV Master gets a haircut. That stuff is serious, man. All right.
Mega Man's an asshole.
Mega Ranger.
Hey, Mega Ranger.
I don't want to keep putting the Sentais in the 90s Sentais in A, but
most of them are all A's. That's the problem.
They're all good. It was a good era. They were doing great.
Even if Mega Ranger upon rewatch is kind of bland, it's still an A.
I think Mega Ranger's solid. I think it's solid A.
Knows why I like Mega Ranger.
Why do you like Mega Ranger, Jerry?
I don't.
Tell us.
Because of Mega Blue.
Mega Blue, yeah. You know my favorite Mega Ranger is Mega Silver.
I was gonna say outside of Mega Blue, I don't know. Like I was like, is there? I'm like just in there anywhere outside of the Shenmue answer. I'm like,
no, it's a Shenmue answer.
It's a Shenmue answer. But I like Mega Silver a lot. I think he's one of my favorite 6. So I love Mega Ranger. And the thing is, I like Mega Ranger. It's funny because like Mega Ranger's like, oh, they're high school students, and then Mega Silver's like, I'm in my late 20s. And it's just like
I'm that weird guy that graduated college early and teaches at the school part time.
Exactly. I was like, I love this. He's just like he's like the teacher's assistant.
Nobody calls
to the club.
Mega Ranger a parody either. That's
that Mega Ranger has some meta humor too. Yeah.
But usually, I think it's never that it gets so meta. It's
it's not as meta as Car Ranger, but it definitely has some of it.
So
it's a comedy, but it's not meta.
If it gets meta, all of a sudden it's a parody.
Yeah, that's a good question, Cameron. Why wasn't Mega Silver in the Ginga Man crossover? Was he busy?
His bitch ass timed out.
Oh, he morphed, and it took so long to get to the Ginga Forest that his powers ran out. It's like, I'm gonna drive a motorcycle there. Oh no. Ginga Man.
Well, there's one word for Ginga Man. Meat.
Meat? Yeah,
Let's tell that story.
All right. Ginga Man's an A.
Hey Jerry, we have an important meeting tonight. Jerry just replies to me, Ginga Man is neat, and I'm like, what's it to do with the meeting?
That's pretty great. Is Ginga Man S because of Hyuga?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the real reason why Ginga Man is S, and you want to search your soul. Everything you're confused about with Lost Galaxy makes sense finally.
I know. And we got Sanbosh.
That's the real reason.
We got Sanbosh.
Exactly. You have Sanbosh. You have the voice of the Geed Riser. You have Hyuga. Also, wait for it.
The rest of the Ginga Mans are great.
Exactly. You got all the cool stuff. You have episodes in Galaxy. Actual Star Beast actually have like slight character arc.
That theme song has been in my head for like 20 years, 15 years. I don't know wherever I first heard it. I like Ginga Man a lot. It's not like breaking any new ground, but boy, is it good. Because I'm gonna rank when I rank Kira Major later, it's gonna be the same thing. It doesn't break any new ground, but the ground it breaks is good. It's like the well-worn path, but it's a really good path.
Like it's one of those ones where man, I love Ginga Man. It's so nice. It's okay. You know what it does? I'm gonna say this right now. It takes the Jew Ranger storybook thing and actually like fully fleshes out the storybook concept, because there's a mythical group of people that just been hiding out like it's that goddamn M. Night Shyamalan movie Out in the Woods, and then the guy who's like an actual children's book author is like, I'm gonna write a story based on everything that's going on, and you're saving the world.
Speaking of saving the world, Go-Go 5's an S, and I'm not going to fight anybody on this. Nope. Nobody come at me saying that Go-Go 5 doesn't deserve an S, because that means I don't think you've watched it.
I'm one of those guys who gives it a high B+ to an A on an average day.
I had to think of which one Go-Go 5 was. Like, yeah.
I know.
And the only reason why I give it the high B+ or an A on an average day is because it's the one thing I hate Sentai does, even though this is probably one of the best.
This is the best sibling Sentai.
this is probably the best sibling Sentai, whereas Ninja had the best concept of a family Sentai.
Yeah, because they used cousins.
Ninja sucked ass.
We'll talk about that. Time Ranger A.
Yeah.
It would be an S if the villains weren't complete flat pieces of paper.
Yes.
Okay. That's the problem.
Time Ranger has the same problem Geki Ranger does when it comes to their Power Rangers counterpart.
Yeah. I was going to say, Time Ranger and Time Force, the difference between them is Time Force has good villains, but half its team is flat. And then Time Ranger has a full good team of Rangers, and then its villains are flat. So
exactly, like Geki Ranger, where Geki Ranger's villains are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Power Rangers Jungle Fury Rangers are...
Yep. All right, Gal Ranger. Also A.
Muteki, fuck Liner Boy. All my homies hate Liner Boy.
I like Liner Boy. That's because I had his toy as a kid. Gal Ranger's an A. It used to be an S-rank show for me, but I thought about it and it's an A. It's still great, but like it's not that great. I'd almost put Gal Ranger in B, because I've seen Gal Ranger was like the first Sentai that had become a Power Rangers that I went back and watched, and so I like have a fondness for it. But like I've seen a lot of shows do its same premises better. So like, is it an A still, or did I drop it to a B?
You know why it's an A? The toy line.
The music.
That toy line was goated.
The music. I can name the Gal Rangers. It's red, blue, black, yellow, and white.
Like I think
because that was the point, is they weren't going to get attached to each other.
The only ones that ever say their names.
Well, they say all their names in the show, but they spend a lot of the show going only by color names because they're supposed to leave their past lives behind to become the Gal Rangers, and they didn't want to get attached to each other and stuff, and then they do because they're a team, and it's great. Yep, I'm back on A. Hurricane is a solid B. I finished watching Hurricane last week. I did watch 26 episodes in 2 days, but that's because I was editing. Hurricaneger, yeah. See, I think a lot of things in Hurricaneger are good. I think the Go Riders and Shurikenger are like my favorite parts about it. The villains were just kind of like disposable in a way. So that's why I kind of put it at B. Also, the main trio all having the same personality of dumb idiot was kind of annoying for a while.
Exactly. That's one of the problems, is that like when you watch, if you don't know Soundout12, even in Japan, you can probably take the original trio, who was the most liked even upon the show's beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, if you people don't know, Red used to get death threats because he was a horrible actor. He still is.
I haven't seen Abba Ranger yet. It's next on my list. I'm a Deca Ranger apologist. It's S.
It's on Deca.
I like Deca a lot. I'm rewatching Deca Ranger right now, and I'm like, wow, I just really love this cast. And I'm gonna watch Abba Ranger, guys.
I'm one of those guys.
Chill out.
I'm one of those guys who now don't like Deca because they keep coming back. I'm like, no, go away.
No, it's the one Sentai that bringing them back all the time actually makes sense, because they don't have a villain to defeat. With some of these other Sentai, like, why do the Hurricanegers keep coming back? I finished Hurricaneger, and I'm like, why do these dudes pop up every 5 years? I think Deca Ranger, it has the case of the week premise, so it's just they can keep coming back, and I like the cast a lot, and that's what sells the show. It's like watching Columbo but with Sentai action. Yeah, I mean, I will. Abba Ranger's literally like the next show I'm starting after Hurricaneger. I also haven't seen Maji Ranger, but Maji Ranger I'm going to watch right after Abba Ranger. It's all part of the plan. I'm filling in my gaps. Bokenger's a B. I'm going to tell you why. Bokenger is peak.
Oh.
Bokenger is great. Bokenger has a crippling flaw to its premise. They're supposed to be treasure hunters looking for the precious. 9 out of 10 episodes starts with them sitting around the base waiting for a monster to attack.
Yep.
Like, aren't you guys supposed to be looking for these relics? Why are you just sitting there doing nothing?
There's another hole you're forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
None of the precious actually connect to something that's end of the world thing, like actually Operation Overdrive made them do.
That's true. Overdrive having the relics have a connective thing was great.
Like the relics in Bokenger, at least a third of them can destroy the world. But like only a third of like I like Bokenger. Bokenger is one of my favorites. It's one of my 100% favorite Sentais. But there are legitimate flaws that I'm like willing to overlook.
I really enjoyed Bokenger, but I can't rank it any higher than B because of that. That's why, I think. Cameron says, which is better, Gao Ranger versus Super Sentai or Bokenger versus Super Sentai? I like Gao Ranger versus Super Sentai more, because it felt a little bit more special by bringing back like Big One and Red Falcon. Because with Bokenger, it was like, oh, just pick one person from each of the previous 4 shows, which didn't feel as like, oh my god, they got them back. It was like, oh, okay. That kind of thing. I think Bokenger versus Super Sentai has a better plot, though. Gao Ranger versus Super Sentai is like half clip show.
It really was.
Haven't seen Geki Ranger yet. It's weird I have this, like, I've seen every other Sentai in the 2000s. Don't ask me how that happened. It's just how it happened. Go Onger. Also a B. I have a lot of fondness for Go Onger because it was the first Sentai I ever saw stuff from. That's like when I started getting into Sentai. I didn't watch it all in 2008, but I watched it in 2009 while I was watching Shinkenger. I like Go Onger a lot, but there's plot holes you can drive an entire Engine OG-12 through. So, yeah. It's kind of like the comedy superseded the storytelling a lot of times, and I think that's why.
It does a lot in some episodes.
Yeah.
Go Onger I still like more than RPM because at least it had a story.
RPM would have been better if they hadn't had that midway production switch and bringing in stupid ableist Chip Lennon. Anyways, Shinkenger's an A, though. I almost put Shinkenger in S, but I think maybe it is S, and I just can't watch it again.
No, it's S.
I think it is S. I can't watch Shinkenger again.
Remember that score. That score
yes,
is
I know.
Amazing.
I think Shinkenger's amazing. I can never watch it again because I have watched Shinkenger when it aired. I rewatched it when it ended. I watched Samurai and Super Samurai, and then I rewatched Samurai and Super Samurai. I have been burned the hell out on the storyline and these characters because the two are so similar. I've essentially watched the show 6 times. I'm never going to watch Shinkenger again. I love it, but it deserves S. I can never rewatch that show. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the Shinkenger storyline. I know it sounds harsh while I'm putting it in S, but
Anyway, there's some S shows, like people will have S shows that they just can't go back and rewatch.
No,
like, I like Kaku Ranger. I can't.
I'm never going to rewatch Kamen Rider Black Sun. Once was enough, but like that was like an S tier thing, and I was like, I cannot watch that again though. It's too intense. I haven't finished Ghost Sager. I have tried 4 times. That show is rough.
Me and Wilson were talking about Ghost Sager a couple weeks ago, weren't we?
Yeah, it was the usual conversation of how the first arc's great, and then the final arc is like goated, and the middle is just awful.
I always stop watching around episode 20.
A lot of people try to say Gosei Night is when the show got good. Gosei Night was a great part about those episodes, but he actually was when the show got turned to shit. Ironically enough, when the Yuma Jews or whatever they were called, the bestial things showed up.
Megaforce did that arc better. Dive. Megaforce did that second arc better because they kept it shorter. Gokaiger A. Reason why not S is because I love the cameos and I love the returning actors and stuff. The second half got so cameo heavy that a lot of the characters, it felt like a lot of character focused episodes sort of got like thrown out. Like there's a few characters, like a few of the Gokaigers jump a little bit in their character arcs, I think, because they were like, well, we're doing more tributes. I like things like when they integrated the Gokai Green backstory with the O-Ranger tribute. Like that sort of thing really worked. But they didn't always do that, and so I think that some of the Gokaigers' independent stories jump ahead a little bit. So
characters getting sidelined because of the earthquake causing Sentai actors to come back.
Yeah.
Was the biggest problem.
It was great. Show. I think it was great. I think it was worth it. I think it was okay to sacrifice the Gokaigers' characters because the Gokaigers' personalities are strong enough that their character arcs don't have to be as like well choreographed, But bringing back all those actors was great, and I would never trade that for anything. So I thought that was terrific. Starkos was happy to see we're doing a Sentai tier list. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Go Busters is a B, and I really love Go Busters, but the mid-series retool hurt it.
I liked it at the beginning better.
Yeah. It's kind of the same problem I have with Hibiki, where like when they retooled Hibiki in the late third, they sucked all the sauce out of it. Like Hibiki had all these unique elements with like the drawn out music bits and the kanji flashing and all the like stylistic. And then you hit episode 31, they took all that away. And then it's just standard Kamen Rider action scenes. Kind of my same problem with Go Busters. I think the story didn't suffer as bad as it did for Hibiki. But I do think when they were like making the Go Busters do roll calls with like CGI backgrounds, and they started doing like, they took them from being unique and interesting and then just put them into the same Sentai action formula. And I was like, okay. Also, they are a special mission Sentai, but I can't believe they all have spy gear and never do any spy stuff after like episode 10.
That's the problem with the show, is that it became more of like special security than actually being spec ops.
Yeah. We didn't really get to do any spy episodes after like the 2-parter in the early part.
Exactly, like
where I was hooked at first, and then that went away.
Yeah, because the problem I have is when the show begins, the show's kind of just boring. Because I remember the early episodes, just dry episodes going.
The early episodes were slow, and that's why I didn't watch it weekly. But then when I went back and watched it later, I was like, oh, there's actually something cool here. You just gotta you gotta stick with it. But then the second half, I felt like all the sauce got taken out. So while the story was interesting, the sauce wasn't there.
And then like the final arc was actually really interesting, but I didn't care anymore.
MJ Klein says there's a Facebook page that claims all Sentai is all perfect and better. Nah. Sentai and Power Rangers both got like mixed stuff. I liked
listen, Sentai purists are problems, okay?
Sentai is not universally better than Power Rangers. They're both long-running franchises that have good shows and bad shows. All right, so the thing is adding to this, with Go Busters, I think that I really liked the style of it in the early part, and so it's like if there was a slower storyline, I didn't mind because the style was great. But then like in the second half, it was like it started to lose it again. It lost the sauce. That was my problem. All right, Akiba Rangers Season 1, I will give a big old B to, because I think this worked great. I think it was a good idea. I think the parody worked to be respectful and loving to Sentai. I thought it was great. It did just kind of get insanely crazy in the second half. But I loved Akiba Ranger. I wish it had more episodes. Unfortunately, I don't like Akiba Ranger Season 2. Akiba Ranger Season 2 goes from loving parody to making fun of Sentai and making fun of why you even like this stuff. Especially, like, I know people like the Powerful Rangers episode, but it was kind of like a case in point. Where it's like, Season 2 of Akiba Ranger is incredibly mean-spirited for no reason. And so it stops being fun, and it starts being like are you making fun of me? And that's the problem I had with Season 2. I love the ending, though. The final episode of Akiba Ranger is great. So Season 1 feels good. I just wish there was more episodes, but then the more episodes we got for Season 2, I felt like they lost the plot a bit. And I didn't think the mean-spirited humor worked. I think the mean-spirited humor sort of dragged the entire show down. Like we didn't want to be Sentai anymore. They were making fun of Sentai.
It's so funny too, because so many people try to tell me, "Oh, Season 2 is better than Season 1."
I think Season 2 is a better show than Season 1, but I think the humor being mean-spirited and more poking at Sentai is like, look how dumb this thing is the problem I have with it. Guys, ready to talk about Kyoryuger? Because I'm not ready for this. You guys?
Well,
whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, hey.
Whoa, whoa,
I came back.
whoa, 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 whoa. It's an A.
It's not dragging up.
I love Kyoryuger. I love samba music. I love dinosaurs. I despise its ending so much I can't put it in S. I absolutely hate the final episode of Kyoryuger with a burning passion. I hated the whole, like, I actually hate the episode before too. I do not like the ending to Kyoryuger. It is the most un-Sentai ending. It is my least favorite ending of the entire franchise. For those that haven't seen it, without spoilers, they split the team up and they do kind of like that roulette thing of like, oh, you go ahead, I'll fight these guys. And they split the team up and they leave it with Red and Pink to fight the main villain. And then Red decides that he's better than everybody else, pushes her out of window, and beats the final villain all on his own. And that is anti-Sentai in how you do a finale. It is about teamwork. It is about working together. It is not about pushing your teammate out the window because you think they're not strong enough or you think you have to be the sacrificial lamb. That is not what Sentai is about. They completely wrecked it, and I've hated that ending for the last 10 years, and I will never, ever forgive them for that because that was ridiculous, it was stupid, and it ruined what was otherwise a great show for me. That is my point on Kyoryuger. You guys got any counterpoints for me?
No, not really. I mean, the ending is in the moment is all right, but yeah, in retrospect, it's all right. You know, it's not great.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they didn't do it as a team. Like, I think it could have been cool to give Red like a moment, and then they all fight the villain together as a team. But no, they wanted to make Red more important than everybody else, and that I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Dino Force Brave's like a D. It wasn't great. Like, props to them trying. I enjoyed watching it because it was different. It was nice to see like a South Korean boy band Sentai series. But like the episodes were too short. It didn't really have a story, and it just kind of like, there you go. LPH said better than that black hole ending in PR. You know what? Exactly. I ranked Dino Supercharged pretty low, and I remember when I ranked all the Power Rangers, and I ranked every Dino Charge Ranger a step down from where they should be because they let the planet blow up. I can't believe it that like Dino Charge and Kyoryuger are two of the best shows and that have the absolute worst endings. I can't believe they both had terrible endings. It's just insane to me. I mean, the rest of the shows make up for it because they're good, but like those endings, both of them are awful. Anyways, the Dino Force Brave's like a D. It's not. I would never watch it again, but it was nice to see. So, you guys got any thoughts on that? Or are we going to Tokyuger? Go for it. Go. S. Tokyuger's one of the best Sentai ever.
Tokyuger. The one that when it came out I didn't give it a shot because I was like really like I guess borderline triggered over the designs of the mech.
I was there. I was right there with you. I hated the
and
night.
Then it turns out it's actually one of the best. I'm like, oh.
Exactly. The night the pictures came out of the suits and the mecha, I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I hate it. Oh my god. It's awful.
Wheels is the one who had to talk me into it. Right? Remember Wheels were like, Jerry's actually good. I'm like, fine.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's so good.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to say Tokyuger's S like Soundout, though. Because there are some episodes that I was just like, man, I'm falling asleep through them. There are like a good portion of episodes.
I mean, the show really picks up when Toki Rokugo gets introduced. Before that, it's kind of your slow early Sentai buildup, right? But the big reveal in episode 13 makes up for all of it.
some of the middle episodes are weird. Even like Zed shows up. There's like some really sleeper episodes where you're just
that's
like
wow, most Toku. That's most Toei Toku though.
I know it was weird though because like in the past couple of years, the 30s would have like really good. I think it was just that like it just was weird going to early 2000 like after Gokaiger onwards, like those like few years before, like all the 30s were like pretty stellar high action. How do you just like here's this really weird rest episode and you're just sitting there going like,
but
what?
That is like the experience of riding a train. There's going to be some uninteresting stops along the way.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, no, I love Tokyuger. Terrific show. I've never watched Ninja in full. I've seen like 2 episodes. I'll get to it.
I avoided it like the plague after the rest of y'all told me to avoid it like the plague.
The first episode, I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Me and Darkon tried to pull a medal where we just like suffered through it, and I think Darkon was able to last longer.
Darkon got through the whole thing.
Binge watched it.
Yeah,
he went through the whole thing, and then I went back and binged most of it. And the show's better in a binge format because my god, does that show suck if you were doing it week to week?
Yeah. MJ Klein, it usually takes a couple days, like a couple business days for things to get shipped, but they might be having like an influx of orders, and so they might be slowing everything down.
You know what also helps in a Ninja?
Yeah.
Is that whole weird when Megumi Han was revealed to be the main villain like in the 30s right after the Jiraiya crossover. Like everything just like hit the fan at that point.
Zyuohger's an F. No, it's not quite. I don't know. Is it an S? Zyuohger's so good. I'm gonna put Zyuohger an A.
You know what? We'll give it an A.
We'll give it an A because Zyuohger again doesn't really break new ground, but the ground it's treading on is good. So I'm like, you know what, A. I'll give it an A because I like it. I like A. I like Zyuohger a lot. Yamato does a lot of work. He's like one of the coolest Reds ever. Like Psycho said, Kazakuri's Sentai Yamato Ranger. Zyuohger, I think it's again, it doesn't break any new ground, but the ground it walks on is solid. You know, I like it.
I wish I had ground to walk on.
Kyuranger's a B. Then they had too many Rangers. They just had too many Rangers.
Lower Kyuranger.
I don't want to put Q. Yeah. I can't lower Kyuranger to C because the thing is, I think there's a lot of good stuff in Kyuranger, but can I put it in C without the chat like executing me? Because I don't.
Yeah, just put it in C.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Here's the thing. Kyuranger.
People are already saying put that fucker in D tier. Like, yeah, you get at C.
You put it in C. All right. Kyuranger, I enjoyed watching it, but it had problems, and the problem was they had too many Rangers. You know, having 12 Rangers was too much. Music was great, yeah. But like, the problem is like, you know, like Garu has one focus episode, and it's the first episode, and then he just doesn't do anything else for the rest of the show. Like, he's the blue, and he doesn't do anything. Kyuranger's not the best. I'm glad Power Rangers ditched the suits because it's too much of a headache to deal around.
Killed Space Squad.
It did kill Space Squad. Yeah, it's killed Space Squad. I'm mad about that. God, I'm not looking forward to this next segment, guys.
You're looking forward to it.
Is this a safe space?
Yes.
Is this a safe space, chat?
Yes.
Is this safe? Is this space? Is it safe? Is it a safe space?
Put Lupat where we all know you want to put it. In the D section.
No, I love Lupat.
D section, like you know.
No, I love Lupat. Lupat has got so many mid problems. So many mid problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacka it's got like the same amount of problems as Jacka does. Lupat has so many problems. Noelle doesn't do anything. The plot doesn't exist. The villains are nothing.
We love Lupat. We're just like shit. Let's shit on it.
I love it though. Like despite all of those problems, I love Lupat, and it's probably because I love Lupin the Third. Okay, it's Lupin the Third, but Sentai. You know, and I think that just works for me. I think it does. You know, I don't even mind when it became Lupin featuring Pat Rent because that's what Lupin the Third is. Okay, it's the Lupin and Gang show, not Zenigata. But you know, yeah, breaking it down to individual episodes is a mess. Absolutely, 100%. As a final like whole show, I love it. And anytime they do anything related to those two teams, I'm in. You know, it's not a great show. It shouldn't be an S for quality. It's an S for being in my heart. Okay. Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Am I okay?
No.
No. No. Is it not okay?
Never okay.
I know. I should feel bad about it, but I don't. Super Sentai Strongest Battles in S tier because this is a great concept. And they should do it every year, but they don't. But I loved it. It's like 4 episodes, but it's so cool. Years. They should do it like every 4 years. Yeah, that'd be great.
Every 5 years.
5 years, yeah, that'd be perfect. Or like do it in between the big anniversaries.
Do it every 5 years, and don't make it here. I'll do you even better. Don't even make it 4 episodes. Make it like one TV like special.
Yes,
instead, that's like a 2-hour, either a 2-hour or a TFCC like mini movie.
Because the Super Sentai Artisan or the Super Sentai Strongest Battle director's cut is like an hour and a half. Like just do one of those every 5 years between anniversaries. It'd be great. I'd love it. Super Dice Satan suit was cool. All right, guys. I apologize. Anybody that liked Ryu Soldier, it's a D. I almost want to put it in F.
I mean, you should put it in F.
All right, I'm putting it in F, and I'll tell you why. Great. Tokipunk said it best. Ryu Soldier has the coolest suits in mecha ever, and the most boring cast and villains and everything else ever. Yeah, it had a great premise and could not execute its premise at all, and it just fell apart completely. It's just, I think it had a lot of great music, a lot of great character suits. It looks great. It's just, writing-wise, it could not hold up, you know? It just couldn't hold up.
It was so inconsistent. It really was.
And like Psycho said, it copied everything from other Sentais and did none of them good. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like, the fact it's the 4th Dino Sentai and uses the exact same color and cast lineup as Kyoryuger is so shameless, and they should feel bad for doing something that obvious, you know? I will agree, Jeremy Carr, the specials were good. The specials, all the ancillary media for Ryu Soldier was better than, like, the show. Which is good. You guys ready to talk about Well-Worn Road not breaking new ground, but that road is so good it doesn't matter?
We're talking about
Kira Major. Kira Major. I think they knew that they were gonna go zany for the 45th, and they were like, let's just do we're gonna do the Sentai formula, and we're gonna just do it really freaking good. And that's what they did, and it's amazing, and I love it, and it's like one of the best shows. And if you haven't watched it, the first episode's kind of off-putting because it's really loud and obnoxious, but after that, I started to love it. I will say too, like the stuff they did with cameras in this season, where they were having like simultaneous mecha fights and ground fights in the same shot. And there's this one episode where they do a long take through all 3 of Toei's warehouses. Like, it's freaking great.
Pretty much they took what Q Ranger and Upat did and like super like perfected it.
Yep. And then they lost the director to Ultraman. Great stuff. Great characters, great villains, great everything, you know? Like, they had the Pen Pineapple Apple Pen guy, and he was like a good character too.
I forgot the greatest thing though when it comes to Taguchi-san. Really? Yes. You didn't tell me you were friends with Taguchi? What are you talking about?
Yeah. I love Kira Major.
The greatest and worst realism ever made.
Alright. Zenkaiger. I watched this with my parents, and they really liked it, and so I have the tendency to want to put it in A, but I have to put it in B because Zenkaiger, there's an Animaniacs clip where it's like, should we do something thought-provoking and smart and plan this out great, or zany antics? And the Animaniacs just start chanting zany antics, and that's the show. That's the show, you know? There is one plot line, and it's Stacy. and everything else is zany antics until they wrap up stories. That being said, love the characters, love Zox and his weird family. I love Stacy. I like the characters a lot. So I enjoyed the zany antics. But as a show, it's too much zany antics, not enough anything else. And that's the problem. So, yeah. The High School Heroes is an A. I know I'm like the only person that's watched this, but
you had to explain that one.
I had to explain this one. I spent like a minute and a half explaining this.
I was like, what is this?
Welcome back, Common Jojo. High School Heroes, J-drama style, but I thought it was cool that there was like low CG work, really nice like fight scenes, really well choreographed stuff. Thought the characters were great. I liked the J-drama style. It allowed them to flesh out the characters within 8 episodes and break a lot of new ground. I really liked it. It's an A. Dawn Brothers. It took me so long to watch this, but this is an A-tier show. It's not an S. Just an A.
What I said about me with Wheels and Tokuger was me and Wheels to you with Dawn Brothers.
100%.
We were like, I don't like how it looks, and we were like, give it a shot.
Once I finally sat down and watched it, really enjoyed it. The only reason it's not S is because Inoue is allergic to world building.
Boy, is he.
They introduce the Sentai gears. They introduce the point system. They introduce the possibility of past Dawn Brothers. They introduce all these elements and then just never do anything with them. Mm-hmm. And it's frustrating as heck, because I want to know, why are the Hitotsukai based on past Sentai, and why are they dropping Sentai gears when they defeat them? But it's never explained. They never explain Kaito. They don't even, like... all the toy-related stuff that he was forced to do, obviously, he didn't want to do it. I respect that. It's one of the things we like about Inoue, right?
I really identify with Dragoku.
Yeah. I liked several of the characters, all right? The episode where Haruka learns to drive is like the peak of Super Sentai. as a single episode. It was amazing.
Bro, the fact that went American Dad style when your B plot bleeds into your A plot so seamlessly.
Beautiful.
Like, oh my god, they're probably gonna die. Ah!
Episode 40 is amazing. Episode 40 is amazing. I love the show.
Some level shit we would do.
And the only thing keeping it out of S is the fact that there are so many things that you ask questions about that the show should answer because it introduced them.
Never got resolved.
Yeah. And so that's why it's there. All right. And then the last one, I have been flip-flopping on this as I've been mentally doing this list in my brain. King Oger. I have to say, even though they could not keep up that green screen, digital screen thing on a weekly budget, and they went a little too hardcore, and at times created, like, overstimulation of the eyes that causes you to get headaches if you're not careful. I think it's still an S-tier show. And I'll tell you why. Because no Sentai was ever written like this before, and no Sentai will be written like this for a long while. It is.
Also, it's like the first Sentai in years to make the movie relevant.
Yes.
To the show, yeah.
The movie is important. The crossovers tie into that movie. The finale was like amazing because when you've seen all of the episodes and all the movies, and you get to that finale, which I won't talk spoilers for those that haven't seen it. That final 3 episodes was good enough to be a movie, which is why they're putting it into a movie. Yes, the green screen. Yes, the digital screen. It's my biggest problem with the show is the fact they overdid it on the CG and the green screen and the digital screen stuff because it's overstimulating the eyes. That stuff does hurt the show, but the storytelling and characters pull the show back up into S tier, right? That stuff would pull it down into A, but it pulls it back up into S because of that finale. And making the movie relevant.
I'm just gonna say it's right now. Like, with the finale, so much stuff was spoiled for me, but, like, I still enjoyed it heavily, and there was one thing that didn't get spoiled for me, and so, like, when it actually happened, and I was like, oh, here comes something crazy, guys, I can't wait to hear your reactions, and then when the one thing that happened that I didn't know was happening, we were, like, losing our effing minds when a specific person showed up.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, because me, Jerry, Metal, and Demon Wolf watched it, and we were literally losing our minds when a specific individual showed up. I will not say who the individual is, but when they showed up, we were like, let's go, baby, let's go!
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I thought that, and that finale cemented it. I was like, green screen, digital screen aside, it's still an S show. And that's the ranking. Look how genuine we are to Sentai. I think it's also because a lot of the Sentai that are kind of weaker are probably still sitting here in the not watched, huh? Like, I feel like when we do this in like a year or so, and I've watched like the rest of the shows I haven't seen, like I'm just gonna fill in the C and D more. I don't know, or the B and it's probably the B and C, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I know I had some controversial picks, but that's just how it goes. That's how it is. That's the Sentai tier list. I'll let you guys look at this while we do wrap up because I'm ready to done. We're on 3 hours of doing streams. I love doing this. This is so much fun. Jeremy Carson's watched with Digimon, then Sun Vulcan. Yeah, my plan is that I'm going to watch Aba Ranger, Magi Ranger, Geki Ranger, Ghost Sager, Nin Ninja. Then I'm going to go back, watch Go Ranger, Battle Fever, Denjiman, Sun Vulcan, Goggle 5, Dynaman, Bioman, Changeman, and Maskman. So like that's the thing is I'm going to go finish up all the modern shows, go back and start and do the rest of the older shows. So, that's it. I think I got. So, we're done for now. Thank you all for joining us for this long live stream. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of news, and we did this tier list. Probably went longer than we should have, but whatever. It's what happens. We'll be back next week. This week's videos will be a little bit lighter because I did that big, heavy Sentai viewing guide video, which if you haven't watched yet, please go check it out. A lot of people have. Really happy with how that turned out. We'll be more viewing guides in the future. The G.I. Joe rundown's still coming. I need time to work on it. But for the moment, there'll be some videos this week. They'll be easier ones for me to do, so I can start working on the G.I. Joe rundown for hopefully next week. That's the plan. I'm not going to do the Magi Ranger dance right now because I haven't watched the Magi Ranger to know it. But that'll be the plan for the foreseeable future, and there'll be some more cool stuff coming. So you're welcome, Jeremy Carr. On that note, Jerry, are you streaming tomorrow?
Yes, yeah. King
Cool.
of Fighters 15. #1 English stream.
The #1 English stream. You're like the top because like everybody does it in Spanish.
Yep.
Or Portuguese.
Kind of funny though that the only English stream is also a Latino. I just happen to be speaking English.
Yeah. And I think it makes it super fun. So we'll be back for that tomorrow on twitch.tv/fightercows.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there for that. It'll be fun.
All right.
Wheels, do you want to promote anything?
All right. Go check out our awesome website, hero-club.com, for our news, interviews, so much more. If you're wondering why the site looks a little dead at the moment, that's just because we're just doing a giant overhaul with the site's interior, I should say. We have to
behind the scenes work, right?
Time. Yeah, we have to back it up big time because the issues with the plugins. We recently found out WordPress is like not working with a lot of the stuff we use, so we have to do a lot of site maintenance.
Yep.
Which is another thing. You should check out our Patreon. So if you want to help us, fix the site up more and make sure it's actually working correctly, maybe donate $1 or $3 or $5, over at the Patreon. The Patreon will eventually probably get you early access to certain things, like if we get merchandise ever made, and maybe stuff like, interviews and whatnot.
Yeah.
We got stuff in the back burner that's been sitting there while we've been working on the site. So yeah, no, check out Hero Club. Follow us across using Hero Club for life.
And on that note, we'll see y'all next week. Have a great one, and see you later.